This is an A1 exclusive.
Tell Plastic Craig is going down. They mad they couldn't get their point across. Shit, I love the sound. Them sources looking weak, homie. You know we gon' check them out. Flying through your teeth, have my pseudo killer stretch you out. Bring them back, they calling me the puppet master. It's always some strings attached. The pseudo always dies at his source. We gon' see to that. There you go, pontificate. You know we don't believe in that. And I'm bringing reading back. Don't I make this shit look cool? Debaters better keep it cool. Might hit up heavy hitters, have a rule, get it you. Have my scholars line you up, and I ain't talking barber school. Peer review party, bring your paperwork. You showed up to debate with no sources? Man, that's crazy work. Them ad homs that never work. If you scared, go to church. It's your Allah, no more shirt. The versus series poppin', sir. Till DMG is going down, they mad they couldn't get their point across. Shit, I love the sound of sources looking weak. Homie, you know we gon' check them out. Lying through your teeth, have my pseudo killer stretch you out. Bring them back, they calling me the puppet master. It's always some strings attached. The pseudo always dies at his source. We gon' see to that. And there you go pontificating. You know we don't believe in that. Till Ratchet Craig is going down, they mad they couldn't get their point across. Shit, I love the sound of sources looking weak. Homie, you know we gon' check them out. Flying through your teeth, have my pseudo killer stretch you out. Bring them back, they calling me the puppet master. It's always some strings attached. The pseudo always dies at its source. We gon' see to that. And there you go pontificating. You know we don't believe in that. Paradigm Shift TV 314.
Yo, 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 it's your boy. I go by the name of Cannon. Y'all know me as Darian. I got my man Sergeant Waters, aka the Waterman, aka the Grim Reaper, aka everybody's favorite, beloved, hated guy. You know, I had to get him in here to do what he do best and put that smoke out there. He gassed up, he ready to go. I just wanted to hear what you had to say and give you the platform to speak your piece. Shout outs to my man BK, the apologist. I see you in the chat. You know, I see BK he in there. I also see Courtney Thompson. What's going on, my brother? So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and take a step back and let you speak your piece. What's up?
Just out of curiosity, a couple preliminary things. Was that song on the intro was Garbage Juice? Who was that? Is that A1? Is that who the hell that was?
No, I don't know. I want to say it might have been A1.
Trash. Absolute trash. I don't know what's going on there, but that song was garbage, bro. You know it was. So they should have put your diss to the Naga niggas on there, because I don't know what that was garbage.
And I see you got more.
If it's A1, I'm especially offended and annoyed at the song, because
You hard to work with, bruh. Lone Wolf and Lion Cub say what up, though.
No, man, man, I don't know if you remember, man, but back with A1, when he was doing this thing, trying to prove that that Jesus was a homosexual and King David was homosexual and stuff like that, and in his particular source,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then his whole thing was like some goofy like Wikipedia articles and nonsense stuff like that. And then after A1, he ended up coming back. He's like, no, I agree. Actually, Leandre is correct. He was like, I got the source from the scholar. It was no. He was like, yeah, this is PhD. It wasn't a PhD. It was like some like undergrad writing, like an undergrad. And he can't tell the difference. So like the fact that the source talk about the song talk about sources and all that kind of stuff, like it meant. So anyway, it was the irony of the whole thing. Anyway, it's just garbage song.
The fact that you pull out the details like that. To shock old Kelly, what's up? Bar Reloaded. I see you.
What's up, man?
I see B Wash. He said he in here now. Zion Warchild in here.
Shout out to brother Zakaria. Zakaria, I see you.
I ain't gonna lie, don't Zakaria look like an R&B singer?
Yeah, you do. That brother look like Joe Thomas on there. I want to know.
Yeah, yeah, the Hebrew don't read like the English translation. We got Rome. What's up, Jerome? Grace and peace.
Was there a precursor to the line that says, yeah, the Hebrew don't read like the English translation? Was there a precursor to that, or was that out of left field? What was that in relation to?
I think that was in reference to what you were saying about A1. I'm not sure. I see Quinn. Grace and peace, this. Hebrew Jedi. This is why we need white hosts and platforms. Punctuality sucks with the blacks.
Well, he should probably know. So let me tell you something. This is why you need people to ask better questions, because you don't know what took place prior to. It doesn't have anything to do with punctuality. So but I don't know. Oh, he said about David being gay. Yeah. So his particular thing was not understanding the covenant language when it says that David loved Jonathan more than women. It's particular covenant language, and he didn't understand that, so he read it in his own little gay mind as something really, really gay. And so that's happened. And I told him as much on this channel that that's covenant language that he's not understanding. Yes, you all start an hour later. Well, again, there actually was something different going on. Whoever Hebrew Jedi is, again, you don't know the context, you're not even asking any questions. So this is why what we need educated people who are going to ask the right questions. No, we're not late. We're not late. That's not what happened. Something else happened. But anyway, it's not late. Started later than you anticipated, but definitely not late. And as a matter of fact, when we tried to start, anyway, we're gonna get into what happened when we tried to start. We'll get into that. Something happened, but anyway. But A1, he just didn't understand the covenant language that was there. And so that was particular covenant language. Just talking about what his bond was with John. There's nothing homosexual about it. You read it, homosexual now, because you got some gay stuff on your mind, something that you need to go talk to your therapist about, conversion therapy, something. But you got to work on something else, but you can't impose that. And so as 21st century readers, we need not impose 21st century ideals onto an ancient text, especially in its parts, 4, 5, 6,000 years old, and some of its oldest written parts, depending on who you ask. But either way, really, really old ancient books. So we don't want to impose ideas on there, but yeah,
I want to ask a few questions. I want to get this one right out the gate. What's going on with you and Chris Harris? I thought y'all was supposed to do a debate.
So I thought we were supposed to do a debate as well. I agreed to one right on here. Now I heard through the grapevine that some of these lying people in this other little chat that we was in said that I said I wasn't doing a debate, but we all got in the thing. And Darren, you remember someone was posting a link to some little weirdo dude, and he posted a video about me. I didn't even get a chance to watch it, then it was gone. But he posted some
video. I do remember that link did get dropped.
And then remember it got dropped, and then so I asked to be added into all of these chats and stuff, because I came in and I'm hitting everybody.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny. For those who don't know what he's talking about, there was a group. We won't say the group, and I mean you can say it, but there was a group that you got added to, and it was supposed to be, some conversations to take place, and you came in real hot and you stirred the pot, and just as fast as you came is as fast as you left. And
who's the Hebrew Jedi person? Because I just see he says he wants that smoke. You want what smoke? What smoke do you want? Type it in the chat. What's the smoke you want? Y'all are not representing Christianity correctly. Okay, yeah, sure. You want to discuss that particular issue? That's fine. But
what does he mean by that, and why is he saying y'all? Because I never met him before.
I don't know.
I've never seen him at all, any kind of way.
But listen, if I wrote down what's going to happen, Christianity flourished via violence. Now there you have ridiculousness. But that's fine. You can certainly take the position. I tell you what, if you want to discuss it, when it's time to open up the panel, you jump on the panel, we can discuss it. If you want to have a debate on, we can. It's not a problem. But anyway, but yeah, so you remember I came in and I'm hot. I'm going off on everybody. I'm hitting everybody. I was going off on scammers, liars, you name it. And so at no point in time, now Darren, you were in there, you were on the call. You saw the
Mhm.
chat. The text chat is available, as well as I got on the call, and you were there. And there were multiple people present. There was like 6 or 7 other people who were present. Atheists. Well, he says historical accuracy. Anyway, so I don't know what historians are going to back you in that, like actual historians are going to back you in that, but again, we can discuss it. But anyway, but remember, I jumped on there and I wanted to smoke at everybody. So I don't know when. Now, Darren, did you ever hear me back out? Do you remember reading anything from me or hearing me say any words where I said I was backing out of that debate? What happened?
Not that I could recall. I didn't see anything about you stopping during a debate. That's why I was like, where'd that come from? Maybe I thought it was a scheduling issue. I didn't see anything, and I didn't hear anything in the call. I heard a lot of roasting, but I ain't hear anybody back out. I didn't hear anything from you or Chris.
Oh, you saying it was roasting me in there?
No, you
okay.
you know what you was in there doing.
Listen, I do what I do all the time. I do what I do all the time. These are the truth. And as Brother Zakaria, who was in there, he read the same chats, he was on the same call. He'll tell you, none of that like there was no backing out. Leandro didn't back out of anything. I don't know what happened, but then he says actual historians do now Hebrew Jet, I don't know who you are. As an actual historian, I'm going to tell you that's inaccurate. There's numerous published works on the spread of Christianity. They don't back that contention, but you're free to take that position if you want. Hey, like I said, when it's come time, jump on a panel. Let's discuss it. If you switch us back and forth one more time.
It was an accident. Okay, I love Christianity because those Christians didn't move. Those Christians didn't wait on debates. The smoke that pops and subjugated them.
Okay.
Keeps moving. Okay, I'm not really sure where he's going with this, but at the end, once he gives us the green light, hopefully he's one of those 3 people that you have some things to say to.
Yeah, we can. It's fine. Yeah. So
initially, basically what you were saying is you and Chris Harris, the debate is still on as far as you know.
As far as I know, we're supposed to have it a couple weeks ago. So
okay.
I don't know what happened, but now Darren, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
How long did Haru run from the debate? Now, how many times did you personally and me and you in a group personally go try to chase him down asking for the debate? About how long did that last? About a year?
So it was about a year that I tried to negotiate the debate, and I think that he was saying that his wife had got sick, so that was, from my recollection, was the reason why he couldn't take the debate at the time.
But Darren, let me ask you something. But what if I can show you that Haru was online doing debates and all the other kind of stuff during that time period? What would that mean? Because
really.
He was. You can go right to YouTube. You can look, and he was on there doing all sorts of stuff during that period of time where he wasn't responding and all this stuff, and his wife had all these medical issues, which I believe she may have had some medical issues. I'm not doubting that. I just know that they clearly weren't stopping him from being online because he was. Okay. He was arguing, debating with people. He was challenging people to debates. He was doing all this stuff during that period of time where he just wasn't responding. So
Haru, like I said, Haru, he told me that he couldn't do it because of the his wife's health issues at the time. Now, if he was doing, I can't dispute, I can't confirm nor deny, but I know you're gonna do your due diligence. Now,
let me ask you something. Now, for the Naga people, right? And this is one of the funny things. What's their main source? Like, let's think back to the stupid song at the beginning. What's the main source for the Naga dudes that they use for their research?
Google
and ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Do you think academic institutions, like places where they do scholarship, you think that they're going to be, the God is light people, but yeah, you think like in those sorts of institutions they like allow for I don't know, like ChatGPT and stuff, like you think that that's like a valid tool for research?
Nah, not because I know what ChatGPT actually is. It's like
it's a glorified Google search.
Yeah.
It's a glorified Google search.
It can pull anything from anywhere. It's not a trustworthy tool.
Yeah. So, but hey, but I mean, there's a dude who wanted to debate a topic that's it's in my field, and his particular thing is ChatGPT, and so yeah. So anyway, but hey, I don't know. I just want to say that I just think as Black folks, we got to stop this stuff, because this is where like the actual definition of cognitive dissonance comes in, right? Because you have people who believe in scholarship, and then they won't act in any way that shows that they believe in scholars. They won't do things that scholars do. They won't go get an education. They won't do the work that scholars do, and then they want to pretend to be a scholar. And then if you bring that up, then things start to get really uncomfortable. And then it creates this really sort of uncomfortable feeling in them. And then that's when they usually start to lose it. Because you have people like with fake degrees. As Chris Harris once told us, after my discussion with Garfield on the existence of Jesus, which no actual historian is disagreeing with. But Chris Harris, he doesn't think that Jesus existed. And then he came out and told us that he backed Garfield having fake degrees. He told us, he says that I backed you with them fake degrees, and I told everybody they were real and they were fake. And then Chris Harris himself, who is said to have multiple fake degrees. He claims to have a master in engineering, not relevant to anything we do or talk about here ever at all. But he won't show them. He won't talk. He won't show them. He won't tell us where they came from. So, you got those people, and they want to pretend to be scholars. They do so online, but they won't do any scholarship. They won't do any work. They won't do the things that scholars do, like go to school and get an education. Chris Harris, likewise, he was backing several people. Kansu had 2 fake PhDs from universallifechurch.org, and Chris Harris is backing him and was claiming, yeah, he has 2 PhDs, knowing he was lying, knowing that they were fake. And I looked into them, and then I seen that they were fake. Downloaded $19.99 from universallifechurch.org. Anybody can go get one. DMG bought me one before. You got people like that. It's kind of like the other one, like Brother Jabari that be on Sawnetter channel all the time. When my discussion with him on Sawnetter's channel, he talked about how he had essentially he didn't call them fake degrees. But what he's talking about is some goofy little thing you pay like $1,500 to, you write some paper, and then they give you some credits, and then he claims those, just like he claims to be a historian because he has an undergraduate degree in Africana studies, which also doesn't make any sense. Like in this community, like we do that sort of thing a lot. This is why you got like the Mr. Ben, the Mr. Ben and Mr. York and Mr. Yosef Yohanan. So you have all these people who are frauds. They don't have like actual degrees. They don't have anything. They don't have anything to back any of their positions. They want to talk like a scholar. They want to pretend to be one, but they don't want to do it. And you mention it to them, you start doing it, then they really start flipping out. So then if they come across someone who's an academic, someone who actually has degrees, something like that, then that's when you hear, like Darren, you've heard him say to me all the time, then degrees don't mean nothing. And just because you got a degree, blah, 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 blah. It's something nobody with a degree like actually says, but it's just like niggas who don't got them. Well, Jabari's, like I said, Jabari has an education in something like health administration. It's something completely irrelevant. But Jabari is actually an educated man. He's an actual educated man. He's not educated in any of the topics that come up. It's like health administration or something like that. It has nothing to do with anything. He doesn't know anything about topic of history or Bible, or even the comedic sciences or anything like that. Like he's not aligned with any of this stuff. If you go ask an actual Egyptologist about like what it takes even to have a Kemetic temple, if you want to be a Kemetic priest, there's all these sort of prerequisites that Jabari just doesn't have. So he has no relevant education in the field, in any field that he chooses to discuss here online. He's not discussing like health administration or whatever it is, but he has actual credentials. It's not on anything relevant. Nothing relevant to what we talk to. But no, it's something like health administration or something like that. Like he has like a master and he's pursuing his PhD in like health administration. Nothing relevant.
I got a couple of questions just to tie into where we are right now. But is a lot of people want to know where all this smoke comes from with you. Like you got to axe the ground with a lot of people.
Yeah. I take a general position against stupidity. And really where it comes from, where it comes from is a place of love for the larger community. And there's individuals, I think, within the community who are hindrances to it. And so, like lots of the people that I just named, they're hindrances to the community, and these would be people. Some of them have following, some of them don't. But the fact that they get platformed, and they lead people astray because they may know words. You know, they don't know definitions to these words. They don't know context. They don't know application, but they may know words, and that usually is enough to get a lot of like uneducated people. And you see this a lot of time with cult leaders. Cult leaders do this kind of stuff all the time. You see, these are like mini cult leaders in my mind, and so they do things to twist the people up. So they'll fleece you. They will take money from people. You know, they'll get you to pay them, for example, to be part of some Kemetic temple. You pay for some courses or be a part of something, and they're really fleecing our people. And to me, that's disrespectful. And so I don't like it. I don't like, you know, I don't like so much as even asking a person for a Cash App request. When you know that you're making stuff up, you know that you don't have anything to back what you're saying. That offends me. So I think that I take a general disposition against stupidity. Shout out to Domo, one of the people who I respect, an educated brother that I respect. And Domo and I, and I make this reference all the time. When Domo and I, when we've talked on numerous occasions, we've talked about politics, and we had several shows in there called The Politics of Black Folks. We actually got another we're supposed to be doing. One of the things I appreciated when talking to Domo was the fact that I don't have to go through and explain basic terms to Domo on a topic that he's talking about knowing. So I have a lot of respect for Domo for that reason. And so Domo got on Paradigm Shift, and he says that he is a critical race theory scholar. And there's no problem with Domo saying that, because he's doing the scholastic work and he's actually looking into, and he knows the ins and outs of what it is that we're talking about. And so we were able to have a discussion. And then meanwhile, then there's other people, and some of these people have large followings, and it baffles the mind. And to Quinn says, I get that. I do have to say that's the followers' fault for not checking these leaders, though. And I would agree with you. I will just say that it's both of their faults. It's both of their faults. And so it's one of the meanings, like the true meaning of something like the phrase that you hear about in the Gospels, a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's not a wolf dressed like a sheep. Sheep's clothing was something that the shepherds wore. And so when you're a wolf in sheep's clothing, is because you're dressed like a shepherd. And so you make the people think that you're a leader, and really you're a wolf. And so you have people who are there fleecing and taking advantage of the sheep, and they actually mean to devour them. That's a problem for me. So any of those people, I don't care whether they're Christian, if they're atheists, and Darren, you know, because you've heard me in groups going off on Christians and stuff all the time for doing this kind of stuff. And so it doesn't matter where they are. That's a problem.
You don't have no picks, man. If it don't sound right to you, you on a neck, man.
Hey, look, and here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
If I may interrupt for a second, I want to tell the listening audience that there was a lack of communication by myself as it pertains to the Slim Reaper, and there was a misunderstanding with regards to him refusing to do the Chris Harris debate. That is my fault 100% and completely. The brother never backed out, so that is on me. Take it up with me. I apologize to the listening audience, but I do have a question for Mr. Logic. I seen something today, and I just want to clarify with you if there's any truth to it, but I'm going to play something first.
All right.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming now, my roof leaving, don't give a I don't care. Did this for my lonesome, no one. Okay. Yeah. Look, hating on me, don't stop. Only help a real cause. Hood legend on some pocket. Manifested till I'm living lost. Highballing cause the sky falling. I'ma catch a little piece though. I ain't worried about your little. No, she easy as a free throw. She wanna hold me like ransom. Just cause I'm young and I'm handsome. Tell all these to have a seat. I know that they cannot stand them. Burn it and roll me another one. I do whatever I feel like. I remember when we dreamed about it. Woke up this morning, it's real life. Trade the whip, trade the currency. Move it like it's an emergency.
Hey, shout out to Domo with the super chat. And hey, everybody feel free to hit that super chat. Somebody was playing around with my Cash App and apparently reported what are debater fees as me paying out gamblers. And the reason we know that somebody reported it is because it was dubbed person-to-person contact instead of the algorithm picking it up. So my Cash App is down. So I'm gonna put my Zelle and my Venmo in the descriptions from here on out and let y'all know how to donate. But some hater, don't know who it is, can't prove who it is, got some suspicions, accuse me of gambling. I ain't never gambled. That I'm so irritated by that whole allegation because it say debate fees on every payout. So, and apparently, in order for you to have a gambling situation, there got to be small amounts of money coming in, large amounts of money coming out. And I don't know how you can get debate fees mixed up with gambling. So, yeah. But it is what it is on that. I'm going to let y'all know how to donate to the channel coming up. But feel free to hit that super chat. Shout out to Domo. Now, to the promo at hand, Slim Reaper. Is there any truth to you perhaps coming into the Versus series on a 3-debate deal? Is there any truth to that, my bro?
Only if you get me one with Domo.
Well, you know, you and Domo got the politics of black folk. You know?
Okay, good. Look, as long as we got something.
And I just want to point out, I don't know who came up with that name, but that is a genius name for what these brothers be doing. Next time they do one, y'all tune in. I'll probably replay their previous two and replay when they was low-key double teaming my boy Edward Dodge on a couple of things. That was a fun one. So I'm gonna replay those. But okay, so you and Domo do another politics of black folk. But in the meantime, we got A9, who I know is ready to step up to anybody. We got Lucifer the Devil. I know he want a piece of you. And of course, my light-skinned Super Bowl with you and MVP, Chris Harris. So, hey, Domo say it's up. If Dre get a 3-debate deal, I want one too. Hey, Domo, it's on the table, man. It's on the table, man. Listen, that's what we're doing here at the Versus series. So y'all tune into Debate Center with your boy Culture, aka Rocky, and my man Nobody from Trust and Believe the Gospel for all the latest and greatest in debate news on this channel and other, primarily the Versus series. So,
yeah.
Who you? I'm gonna ask one question and I'm gonna get back to it because Cannon looking at me like, man, how you gonna come and hijack my show?
Oh no, you good. No, you know we need the commissioner in here. You got to do what you got to do, man. I mean, I'm actually enjoying the chat right now. Continue.
So Slim Reaper, outside of your, as long as I've known you, your light-skinned counterpart, the saber-tooth to your Wolverine, Chris Harris, who are you looking forward to debating in the Versus series, or do you need to get to know the competition? Because I'm hearing this dude Lucifer is 16-0.
Yeah, that's fine. You put him in there, and then I want Hiru. So and DMG, you still have taken zero responsibility for that one.
You know what? I'm not taking any accountability for that one because I literally didn't get your text message. But I will say that Slim Reaper showed me that he texted me, but I never got the text. Now I can't explain why I didn't get the text. Maybe my phone was off. I think my phone was off for like 3 hours, but I don't know if that's the day he did it. That being said, if it was the 26th, maybe that's what it was because I'd be forgetting to pay my phone bill. But if it wasn't the 26th, I don't know why I didn't get it.
The date was, let me see.
Anonymous Hebrew say 17-0. Okay, so hey, listen.
That was the 11th of July. So
yeah, and I told you I didn't get it. I promise I did.
Well, you need to call him because it's no me win.
But he said he still want Haru. Obviously, we got the light-skinned Super Bowl, but I think Anonymous Hebrew and Joshua, aka Lucifer, would be interesting contests for the Slim Reaper. And then we got Cedric still out there.
Listen.
Competition.
Hebrew Jedi is A9.
Take that candy from them babies.
I'm gonna take it to him. Now, let me point some out. Now, Darren, can you pin his comment because this is how you know people they just ain't ready. I saw he posted this earlier. Matter of fact, no. Listen, I want to wait till he gets on here. But pin the comment now because I want to discuss. He says Slim Reaper, Mr. Storm, what happened to Hypatia? Can you pin that? And then when he comes on here later, I want him to come up here. I want to get on here. I want him to get on camera. Turn your camera on, and I want to discuss this particular question with you. So,
hey, Slim, we ain't never talked about that. So I don't know if you wanna.
Now I want to beat a nigga up just real quick. Just you gotta let me. You know what I'm saying?
All right, because we'll talk privately because I do want your opinion on what happened to Hypatia.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be a very simple one. But yeah. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. But I tune in to the fight. But so wait a minute, Hebrew Jedi, that ain't A9?
That's Lucifer.
That's Lucifer. Okay, my bad.
Now, why would you anyway? Why would you name yourself a Lucifer?
Where A9 at? I need A9 up in the building. But okay.
Listen,
hey, Lucifer, you know how they say the devil got a bunch of names? Lucifer got a bunch of profiles. Like, hey, man, you making my head spin, bro. So make sure you come up here so we can put a future debate together with you and the Slim Reaper. I think y'all are. It's almost better than him and Chris Harris. I promise. So,
what's Chris Harris' record?
There's only okay. There's only 8 likes on this video though. I'm trying to understand why. It's 30 people watching.
Yeah, let's get them likes up, family. Let's get them likes up.
Definitely show love if you care about the channel Paradigm Shift as a whole. Just definitely put that like button on there. Hit that like button. Get us up there. That way, you know, the more thumbs up, the more this can be seen by multiple people.
I just want to read the Slim Reaper debater profile. And for those who want to see the debater profiles, go to the community page. You can see all of the debater profiles on there. But the Slim Reaper profile says the Slim Reaper, aka Mr. Logic. And yeah, I came up with all that, y'all. Marketing genius, by the way. But anyway, aka Mr. Logic is a multi-degree holding master of logic, reason, and law. A Christian apologist, Black conservative, and self-proclaimed only real debater in the Versus series. And he wants all the smoke. My question to the Slim Reaper and to Cannon, for that matter, is do you detect any lies in that debater profile?
I mean, I feel like you summed him up pretty good to me. Wanting all the smoke, you ran down his credentials, and that him with that mask on is fitting. So the Slim Reaper.
And you know, it's funny. I took that specifically for DMG. Man, I was out doing something, right? And I just bought the thing, and they were having some sort of masquerade thing. But when I went to the store, I saw it and I said, "Oh man, this is gonna go perfect." So I bought it, put the thing on, took a picture, sent it to DMG. But yeah, so that was specifically for DMG.
Hey, don't never let it be said that I don't bring the best out in people. And you know he already got his sound effect.
I'm an angel. I kill firstborns while their mamas watch. I turn cities into salt. I even, when I feel like it, rip the souls from little girls. And from now till kingdom come, the only thing you can count on in your existence is never understanding why.
DMG, I have a question for you before you go.
Yes, sir.
Which video was that in where I came on and I jumped on to talk to Chris Harris, and he got so upset at my questions that he spit on the screen and jumped off? Which video was that?
You know what? I think I might have deleted that video because I've been trying to find it to figure out when that happened. But
man, listen, man, because I sent people looking for it shortly after, and it was gone. But I remember like it was a bunch of stuff that happened.
It might just be on private though, but I gotta find it. I think was that the what did you get Xavier with that people be saying? Helios Biblios.
Well, no, that wasn't Helios Biblos one. Remember, they all fumbled on Helios Biblos. But it was another one where it was a different one. It was later. It was months after that. But he spit on the screen like this and then jumped off. And I remember one of the dudes from Detroit. He was in the chat. His name was Eastside Apologetics, a black Christian channel. But I remember, and they was like, "Chris, did you just spit on your screen?"
I remember he said that. He was like, "Did he just spit on his own?" And I was just like, I was shocked. Like, what?
I'm like, wait, what just happened? And when I look back, he spit on the screen and closed the thing and jumped off. Didn't want to deal with what I was saying. The screen jumped off. I don't know what happened, man. But
yeah, I do. That was. I'm gonna have to find that and make a promo. But I know. I don't think I deleted it. I think it's just on private.
By the way, can I just say too? Shout out to my sister Michelle Turner, one of my favorite people. She has no idea, but she's one of my favorite people. I love to see sister in the chat.
Shout out to one of I almost said my favorite moderator, but I can't be having favorites. So one of my favorite moderators, Michelle Turner, always supporting. Appreciate you, sis. Yeah, she was one of those people who was secretly behind my back praying that I got out of the conscious community and came back into the fold. So shout out to that sister. But shout out to BK for leading that circle. Shout out to the Don Alfredo. But yeah, man, I'm gonna leave y'all, man, and let y'all do y'all thing. I just had to get my little marketing stuff off right quick. Matter of fact, I ain't even done. I got one more. Y'all excuse me. I got one more. I got a big 3-night event coming up. It's called Debate Mania. So the main event is set. I'm gonna play that, and then I'm gonna get out y'all hair. Hey, Cannon, believe it or not, Leandre used to have long hair, but he don't no more though.
Oh yeah.
Think about bringing it back.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving, don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome, no.
Not the right one. Hold up. I messed up. Hey, I know y'all can't believe it. But
who's on the song at the beginning of it?
DMG messes up too. That's a dude named Wavy Rushan. That's what music I'll be playing all the time.
No, not that song. The song at the beginning of the thing that like the pseudo killer stuff, like your sources. Who's that?
Oh, that's your boy, A1.
Oh, it is A1. Okay.
Booty Cheeks. That song sucks.
Wow.
Garbage.
You would say that just because it's A1.
I said it before I knew it was him. Listen, it was garbage. Listen, the song is garbage, and it is hypocritical as well.
You are a horrible person, and I don't know why you like this. Remember, I used to ask you all the time, why are you like this? I'm gonna ask you again, why are you like this, bro?
Listen, they don't even have a name for what's wrong with me yet. But listen, the song is garbage, okay? And then from someone who was on like Wikipedia,
You said I was loud. My bad. Hey, Slim, I'll tell you where I'm at later, but Darren, I think you know where I'm at, so I actually got to keep my voice down. I'm on my phone. That's why I loaded the wrong video. But yeah, you got to stop being like this, bro. You know, you're not a nice person.
Definitely not. I'm a very kind man, not a nice one though.
Yeah, and I'm glad you know. It's a difference between doing wrong and being wrong.
Hey, come on with it. Talk about it.
And I don't think a lot of people get the distinction, but I know you do, and that's probably why we remain cool. But apparently, I just messed up and named this video incorrectly, and I don't know what I did. I'm gonna try this one more time so I don't keep holding up y'all show, but I gotta hit the people with this joint because this is. I'm trying to decide, and I'm gonna let the family help me out with this. So what I'm trying to decide is if this event, Debate Mania, if it's gonna be free right here on the channel, and then I just ask for donations here and there throughout, because you know I'm gonna pay my debaters. Unless you rich like Slim Reaper and you say I'm just gonna donate it back to the channel because you know he do that kind of stuff because you know he's rich. But anyway, or Anonymous Hebrew, he rich too. He donate back to the channel. I appreciate it. Shout out to my man Fit Barber, the man who brought my beard back to life. He always donate back to the channel too.
I want White Hennessy.
What's up with you and White Hennessy, man? Stop drinking that, man. It's sold here in the States now. But long story short, family, I want y'all opinion on whether this 3-night event should be on Zoom pay-per-view. Obviously, I'm gonna come in at a fair price. I'm thinking between $10 and $15. If it's $15, you could basically say it'll be, you know, $5 per debate. We're gonna have the social media title final on Friday, October 3rd. October 4th, hopefully we'll have that big blockbuster match. Maybe the Slim Reaper will be in it against Lucifer, A9, Chris Harris, etc. Cedric, maybe. And then Saturday, we're going to close it out with the world title match between Haru and our world champion, Pandemus, the Pan-African atheist. And, you know, hopefully y'all will help me decide. I'll put a poll up or something, but get this thing figured out. Because if y'all going to actually pay for it, we're going to put it on pay-per-view.
Check out what Domo said. He said he'll put some bread up for it to be free.
There it is. There it is. Shout out to Domo. But let me play this. Let me get out y'all hair, man. I'm gonna play this and then I'm going to get out y'all hair.
There we go.
So again, 3-night event. We're gonna have obviously social media title tournament final in there. We're gonna have our world title being defended on that last night, and then in that middle night. The middle night is where I want to have a highly anticipated contest. Like I said, Slim Reaper versus Chris Harris. Slim Reaper versus anybody, for real. Cedric versus anybody. A9 versus anybody. These named debaters will be in that middle Saturday slot, so we can get people some anticipated matchups. But that's the way I want this thing to break down, starting off on Friday, Saturday, and then closing it out with the world title match on Sunday. And in the future, when we have, I'm trying to have like 3 or 4 a year. In the future, we might mix it up. We still got the tandem division coming, so we may have a tandem title defense, and the world title may not be on the line. Or, it may be the main event, may be a number 1 contender matchup. We're going to mix it up. But again, I told y'all we trying to mimic what the UFC do. So just like the UFC have UFC 100, 200, 300, we want to make Debate Mania that type of stable. And then we're going to do like smaller things, like we may do a 2-night event and call that the Battle of the Ideologies 1, 2, or 3. So we trying to kick this thing up, man, and with people like Slim Reaper, Chris Harris, Domo, Anonymous Hebrew, Cedric, etc. coming into the fold, it just make it that much more alive. So we appreciate y'all's support. Hopefully y'all will keep coming back and rocking with us and take this thing to the next level. And like I said, by Slim Reaper being rich, hopefully he'll send me some funds and make sure all the debaters can continue to be paid and taken care of and all that good stuff. So why do you continue to talk about alcohol as if you must have it? I don't.
Because first of all, the Bible says it's gonna be drinking in heaven. I want you to send me the alcohol I'm asking for. So we ain't got, just send it to me. What's the problem? Send it to me. Send me what I'm asking for. You get bottles of it all the time. Just send it.
I mean, I really just feel like you might have a problem, brother.
You call it you want to. Just send it. Talk to me about the problem while I drink it. We can talk about it over drinks.
Wow. Wow.
No problem.
Listen, man. As your older friend, I just want you to know that might be a problem, man. You need to slow down. That might be why you can't get along with nobody. The constant drinking.
That's fine. Send the stuff.
But you know what? I'm gonna send it because I remember as a kid, I used to think everybody that drank could grow facial hair. You know how the cartoons, they would drink and then they'll have like a 5 o'clock shadow after they drink. So
yeah, that's hilarious.
If I send you that Hennessy White, you may be able to grow like actual manly facial hair. Because I'm looking at Cannon. Cannon got a nice beard going. It ain't DMG level. You know what I mean? It ain't DMG level, but he got a nice beard going.
I know, man.
I'm looking at Slim Reaper, man. You looking real 13-ish by the face. I'm just saying. You looking mighty beginning of puberty by the face type thing. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Grown men when they able, they actually at least like got a goatee that's connected. I don't know what you got, like a soul patch type of thing going on.
Let me explain something to you. You see the way, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the way we do St. Louis Negroes out this way. You see what they did to your boy 607
Hey, listen, man. Let me tell you something.
Put that on the table.
Let me tell you something, bro. Just because you from the Lou don't mean you worthy. You dig?
Listen, he's one of y'all pillars. He looked like Darian, but he's one of y'all pillars.
I don't look like him. He just got a lot. You don't look the same at all.
Here's my question to you, though. Here's my question to you. Did that happen in Fresno?
No. Just about 3 hours south, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you from Fresno.
It can.
So I'm just saying. So
it can.
You. I know you think Fresno is Compton or Richmond or something, but it is by everything that I be hearing. Fresno is like the Pleasantville of the West Coast.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Everybody told you that.
That's probably why you ain't been through enough in life to actually have.
Oh, you got some
facial hair. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody else from Fresno in the chat.
Shoot.
As a matter of fact, is that? Let me see. I wonder if that's.
Hey, shout out to the brother. Me and that brother got to run it back. All right, y'all, for real. I'm getting out of the brother's hair.
Wait. Is that my boy Jack? Jack, is that you? If that's Jack can tell you. Hey, look. Let me tell you something.
He say Fresno is not the I don't even want to get up here and start bragging about stuff like that. But stop it. Stop it. That is not the murder capital of what? Pets or something? Knock it off. Knock it off. Hey, this
that Chris from
Cali. James, come visit Cali so we can make you look like 607 Undid on multiple.
Hey, listen. I come of all the places I will go in Cali. Fresno is at the top of the list with your white picket fences and whatnot. Listen, this is my last one, family, and I'm gonna let these brothers proceed. Shout out to the Slim Reaper 3-debate deal with the Versus series. We're trying to bring y'all top-notch debates, top-notch debaters. Shout out to my man Cannon back on the channel. I'm talking about live and in action out of nowhere. He done sprang up on like 4 shows already. Only been back like 3 days, but I already did 4 shows. So this is my last one, I promise, and then I'm gone. Debate Mania #1. Domo say, put it up for free. My sister Michelle Turner say she'll pay for it. We're going to figure this thing out, but this is the last one.
This is a Wave One exclusive.
So Plastic Craig is going down. They mad they couldn't get their point across. Shit, I will understand. Them sources looking weak, homie. You know we gon' check them out. Flying through your teeth, have my pseudo killer stretch you out. Bring them back, they calling me the puppet master. It's always some strength attached. The pseudo always dies at its source. We gon' see to that. There you go pontificate. You know we don't believe in that. And I'm bringing freedom back. Don't I make this shit look cool? Debaters better. Hey, Cosmo Chris.
Wait.
I actually believe you, Cosmo Chris. I don't believe Slim Reaper. That's the issue.
Wait.
I believe you, Cosmo Chris. I want you to know that. Create a gang in the building. I believe you, brother. I just don't believe Slim Reaper. I think Slim Reaper is from like the Bel Air of Fresno. I believe you probably got it out the mud, Cosmo Chris.
DMG, you gotta tell me something.
But Slim Reaper is the Fresh Prince of Fresno.
Hey, DMG, I gotta ask you something. Now, how do you know him? Because listen, he know me personally. How you know him?
We just linked up on the channel.
Hey, look, I swear, listen, he know me personally. And listen, hey, Chris, Hey man, it's good to see you, big dog. I ain't seen you in a minute, but listen, you talk about somebody who know me personally. I didn't even know he knew nothing about the channel, but he know he know me personally.
Yeah, you know he with the old Waspy boys, man. Create a gang. So shout out to the brother. Somebody, so somebody can actually speak to No Facial Hair Slim Reaper's street credibility.
Hey,
I appreciate it. Hey, Cosmo Chris, I'ma holler at you. He said peace. Oh, he called him. He called him Tank. Peace Tank. Oh my. Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, that's family right there, bro.
One of the long-standing mysteries of the series has been solved. Leandre Slim Reaper, aka Mr. Logic, aka Tank from Fresno, is a real reformed street dude.
Listen,
Shout out to Cosmo Chris. Hey, brother, we really got to run that show back. I owe you now because you just made my head explode because I've been saying this dude is not a tough guy. I still don't think he's a tough guy, but you just gave some clarity to us.
Listen, he's known me. Listen, I've known bro decades. Listen, that's family right there. It ain't lying. So listen, that's family. He know me personally. Okay, listen.
He say peace, Tank. Hey, listen. All right, there go Anonymous Hebrew. There go Anonymous Hebrew. Nah, hey, Slim Reaper, I'm gonna tell you right now. So you was playing with Lucifer. You don't want. I know you say you want the smoke, but you don't want no smoke from Anonymous Hebrew. I'm just letting you know right now.
Okay, yeah, I don't believe that. Listen, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Just telling you, you don't want that type of smoke from Anonymous Hebrew.
Subscribe now.
I do
so
say
that being said, I'm gonna let these brothers get back to the show. I done hijacked it with all my promos. Debate Mania, the weekend of October 3rd. We're kicking it off with the social media title tournament. We ending it with the world title match between Pan and Haru. We still looking to get that big middle matchup. Maybe the Slim Reaper and Anonymous Hebrew will be the matchup. Maybe it'll be Anonymous Hebrew and nobody. Maybe it'll be Anonymous Hebrew and King Self. I don't know yet.
I think we lost it.
We got some components. So
hey, do me a favor. Hey, do me a favor. Pin the last comment from Hebrew Jedi, and just pin it. I ain't gonna say nothing. Just pin it for me.
This one?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Get back to it, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.
Appreciate you, my man. Look, it's always good to have him in here and do what he does best. A lot of that new promo looked pretty good. Speaking of, before we get back to that, how do you feel? Who you think gonna win? You think Pan gonna keep the belt or Haru Conscious gonna beat him?
Nah, that's definitely going to Pan. I don't know who the hell Ruby talking about. Now listen, I disagree with Pan on pretty much everything. Okay, but Pan gonna do his thing. I wish Pan would commit to a consistent epistemology, so we could have a debate. But he won't commit to a consistent epistemology because I want to debate the brother, but he don't have one and won't commit to one. But that's gonna go to Pan. But Pan, if you ever decide to commit to a consistent epistemology, we can debate.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe y'all got Chris in here, man. Chris,
yeah,
man,
he been in here for a couple of weeks now. I mean, he had a run in with Chris. He had a run in with Chris too.
Man, listen, hey, look, look. As a matter of fact, hey, listen, hey, Chris. Man, hey Chris, man, you come sit next to me, man. We can do this at the house, bro. It ain't no thing, man. Let me know. Hey, listen, because it's so funny. But listen, and let me tell you too, Darren, that's not a small dude.
Oh yeah,
that is not a small dude by any stretch of the imagination. That's a like bro, yo. That's not a small guy by any stretch of the imagination. Shout out to Chris though.
I'm wondering if that link, you think that's a goddess in the flesh? Would that be a mirror?
Ooh, I don't know, but I tell you what, here's what you do. Drop the link, man. Let's open it up. Let's get some people up here, man.
All right, I'm gonna start with this person that's already in here. Yo, Goddess in the flesh. Is that
y'all can hear me?
Hey, you.
You live? I figured it was you because you clicked you was in the back chat.
Yeah, what's going on?
Not too much. You know, he Sergeant Waters get ready to do what he do best. I'm gonna open up the chat for at least three people.
Hey, look, I need you to do something for me. Before we do that, after Amir say what, after Sis say what you need to say, I want to play something. I want to play something. So
look, I don't have nothing to say. I really didn't know how this worked.
Well, listen. I need you to hang out up here though. Hang out up here.
All right.
Look, let me do this.
Hey, hold on, Tank from Fresno. Hold on, Tank.
All right, what's up?
I got a question for Goddess in the flesh. Do you debate?
Do I debate? I'm willing to debate. I have not been in any debates. I haven't found anyone that I felt like I needed to or should be debating. Most of the people who challenge me to debate are not worth my time.
Oh man, she got the right attitude. Darren, I need you to holler at your peoples and get over here in the Versus series. I need more female debaters, bro.
Me and her already talked.
Female debaters. Holler at her. Sis, talk to my man Cannon. Talk to my man Sergeant Waters. They'll speak on my behalf. I run a good shop. Come holler at me. We can make debating worth your while, I promise.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple of things on Paradigm Shift. I've tapped in a couple times, and I've been trying to get familiar with some of the people who's been around, and just kind of listening in, seeing what everybody's talking about and where they're coming from and such. Y'all got a little bit more history than I'm aware of.
Okay, I appreciate it. I hope you subscribed, and all right, I'm gone for real this time.
Okay. Can I?
You want me to share your screen?
If you share my screen, I just want to play something for us one time. So
you got that's a message. You got a message for us with that. Go ahead and break that down. What made you play that?
Like I said, so part of my offense is that you got people who they represent us, right? And just like if I unleash the tiger in the room with anybody in here, people are gonna react a certain way because of the representation and everything that you see when you experience a tiger. You've probably never met a tiger personally, but you know what to expect from a tiger because of.
You got a tiger right here. I want to know why you playing Sergeant
Shut the hell up and let me finish talking. Shut the hell up before you get kicked off.
What are you talking to?
Shut the hell up. That was a soft man. Shut the hell up.
Calm down. Calm down.
Mute these niggas so I can finish. Anyway, so the point is that we got to do better as people. So I don't do the representation like where like niggas get up here and they be dumb or they say dumb stuff. It's not cool. So as amongst our community, we got to police our own community. We got to get the people out here who are cancer to the community. So I don't do the whole idea where niggas get up here and say anything that they want. They could have no backing for the stuff that they're saying. I don't do it. We got to hold each other accountable just as a people group. And so like CJ brought ridicule on the entire people group because he was just doing nonsense and playing right into the hands of the people who don't like us. So anyway, that's the point. And so anyway, but yeah, that's all. That was the point.
Now I caught that.
Yeah, I got it. I definitely had understood it. Like,
yeah, everybody with a working prefrontal cortex understood it.
And
so I'm still with you, baby.
Man, chilling, man. What's going on, Zion? How you been, big dog?
Man, I'm all right, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing you working. You know what I mean? I've been seeing
how it is.
And I gotta say, yo, you know what I'm saying? I busted chops a little bit on the hubris, but I have a large respect for you as an intellectual and as a scholar. You know what I'm saying? And as a law student, you know what I'm saying? As a law scholar. I think, you know what I'm saying, like with a lot of the stuff that's going on, I would love to have a legal discussion with you on some of the things that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily the Diddy trial.
Zion, hold up, my brother. Zion. My main man, my roster. But don't come up here giving this dude no flowers. He said he want the smoke.
Nah, I got smoke for him.
No, not the Warrior.
How he won't smoke when he asking to mute people all the time?
I got smoke for him, but I respect the brother. You know what I'm saying? I respect the brother's intellect. And
how you won't smoke and you asking for people to be muted, man? Let's get to it.
That's that Chris Harris energy. That's that Chris Harris energy.
I was asked a question. The weirdo came off the mic while I'm in the middle of trying to explain something because he really don't want to actually hear the answer. So yeah. So anyway, if someone asks a question, I'm trying to answer a question, shut up. And then when it's your turn to talk, you talk. But now go and say
so like the shut up energy. So like the shut up energy.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a lot of it.
That's whole shit for the internet.
Your mama.
Like that. Like that.
Here we go.
Real quick. I see Silky D in the
had
building.
that type of energy though.
And I just gotta ask Professor Silky, if I may, and then I'm leaving for real, I promise. I just gotta ask Professor Silky when he getting in the Versus series. Stop playing with Stop playing with these little leaguers. Stop playing with these little leaguers and come and get to where the pressure is.
Hey, DMD, you want me to put that belt on his ass again? That'll be the third time. You want me to whoop this ass?
Let's go.
What happened to the sound?
You hear this sound already?
I'm gonna start putting the hellhound known as Lucifer. I'm gonna start sicking them on all of y'all.
Nah, man, he'll get beat up every day. Yo, Sarge, I want you to chop it up.
You lost to me. You fucking lost to me. What are you talking about?
Hey, can y'all have some decorum?
I lost to you in my first year of debate, man.
You can't talk. You my son. And
so I gotta listen. Hey, man. Hey, can I get some mute action, bro?
Everybody, took you a chance to speak, and then we're gonna take it back to the reason why we're here.
Go ahead and speak, my son. Go ahead.
Dang, man. I guess you feeling the threat, huh? That's what I thought. Yeah, man. Yeah, you got your wish, man. I done came up over here. I'm gonna go ahead and sign me up, bro. You got your wish. So send your best, you know what I'm talking about, this whatever. Bring it, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, see me, man. Yeah, we can make that happen.
Take this
whoever want to get dealt with first, or y'all can double up, triple up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Holler at me. Yeah, my resume speaks highly for itself. Look me up. Yeah, see what I'm about.
At least Leandre a real debater, bro.
Y'all heard it here. Silky D is entering the Versus series. He ready for the pressure. And I really am gone now. Salute to the panel. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, they on their own now.
At least Leandre is a real debater. Don't nobody take Polyester Pimp serious. Like,
polyester. Hey, polyester.
We can move on. We can move on from Polyester P, bro.
All you gotta do is
I gave the nigga that name, Polyester D.
Hey, bro.
Man, y'all sound real timid, bro. Y'all trembling already?
Actually, you really are real timid.
You can't be trembling already, bro. I just got here. Y'all know what it is, huh?
Hey, Leandre.
They know what it is. That's what I thought. Look here, man. I just got here, bro. I ain't even got started yet.
Okay.
Y'all already shaking? Y'all already shaking already, bro?
I'm not going to. Nobody takes you serious.
Hey, let me get back to the proceedings. You know what I'm saying? Because I know.
Darren.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get back to the proceedings. Yeah, save the three little pigs. There you go.
Hold on one second, bro. Hold on one second, y'all. I want to get back to the proceedings because I know Son Reaper had a couple of things to address. I know Hebrew Jedi didn't come up. He was supposed to come up and say a couple of things.
No. He's one of these two. I think Hebrew Jedi is the one who's Lucifer, ain't it?
Yeah.
Hey, your boy Haru called my name out last night, bro. So yeah, I'm here, man, and I'm going on a massacre. And anybody getting in my way gonna get dealt with.
Man, bro, stop talking. Don't nobody even believe you, bro. We're not even.
Yeah, all right, right. Yeah. So all right. Find out.
Let's talk about Lucifer and Sergeant Waters real quick.
Y'all said I got a lot of names, man. Sergeant Waters against Garfield. You had a different name. What was your name versus Garfield?
Yeah, man. DMG, man, get at me, man. Holler at me when Dane in protective
I
custody.
can't hear you over polyester.
I'm gonna reach out to you later, Silky. You already know how we do.
Yeah, man. Y'all know how to find me, man. Y'all know my chat, dog. Y'all know how to get at me.
Nigga, you trash, bro. Right out, man.
Silk.
Trash, bro.
Hey, man.
I ain't never
Who
even
gonna
seen
do
you win
it?
a debate, bro.
Who gonna be the first one to do it? Who gonna be the first one to do it?
Nobody, because we don't take you
Oh,
serious.
okay, nobody. Okay, excuses.
Hold on. I like
Excuses.
easy wins,
Coward.
A9. Hold
That's
on.
what I
I
thought.
like to put
Who gonna be the first? Who gonna be the first to do it?
Listen.
Silky, this is not the Silky show. This is not the damn
Who
Silky
gonna be the
show.
first to do it? Who gonna be the first to
Silky,
step up?
you're deviating the focus from what the show is about to yourself. No, thank you.
Sage, you know, fun. You just like
Nah,
a white
they jumped on
I'm
Silky.
not no fun. You know this.
He
Come
jumped
on
on
now.
Silky as soon as he came on the panel. So
Bring
he had
Silky
to,
back,
he had to
man.
address that.
Man, no. Zion, stop caping for this. He got a perm, bro. Don't nobody want to talk. This man's a grown man.
Yo,
with a
no, it
perm,
was good
bro.
though.
He trying to bring it back. He trying to bring that look back, man.
Oh, this nigga been chasing me around the internet and don't want to debate.
It's nostalgic, brother.
So let me ask this question: is there any particular topics that y'all want to see Leandre in?
Hell
I
yeah,
wanna know-
Christianity and violence.
I want to. I do want
Hold on, one person at a time. Let's go in the order with y'all can. Let Zion go first, since he got on first. Go ahead, Zion.
Yeah, all right. So I would like to debate Sergeant Waters, you know what I'm saying, much due respect. On because he does pose a very critical position on education and credentials. You know what I'm saying, which I have no problem with. However, I think that sometimes we oftentimes get into a box where we think that that you can't be a scholar unless you have a collegiate background, and I don't necessarily 100% agree with that. I think that college and higher education gives us the tools to be scholars and to act as scholars, but I don't think that you can pigeonhole someone to scholarship simply because they have a degree or don't have a degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Zion. Let me ask you a question. What is an equivocation fallacy?
Oh, I know what I use that term all the time.
Well, tell me what it is.
Fallacy of equivocation is when you take one thing and you match it to another and it doesn't have any connection. So, like for instance,
So for example, like if we're talking terms, right? We're talking about scholarship, right? When we talk about scholarship, we're talking about people who are scholars, right? Now, obviously, in a dictionary, and for those of you who never learned how to use one of these, a dictionary, in a dictionary, there are what's called substances. And so when you see the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 under the definition, these are called substances. Meaning in a different context, there's going to be a different definition that might fit. So, for example, when we talk about someone being a scholar, in the sense that we're talking about a scholar and scholarship and talking about a person who's, we're talking about citing scholars, you certainly can't call yourself a scholar in the same sense as you might call someone, like, for example, if I was talking about, I don't know, let's say I was talking about a scholar of New Testament history, or as a matter of fact, let's say textual criticism. Let's say I was talking about New Testament textual criticism.
Come on.
An education in that context is going to equal a scholar. So if we're talking about Bart Ehrman and we're talking about New Text textual criticism, so it would be a fallacy of equivocation to call someone else a scholar who simply, like, if they're, in one sense, a person who is in a bachelor's or an undergrad, let's say they're in an associate's level course, like a 200 or 300 level coursework in something in a community college. They're a scholar in the sense that they're studying something, but not a scholar in the same sense. When we talk about scholarship, the point that I'm making there is that people love scholars, but they don't do the work to be scholars, not in the same sense. And so you can't even use the same term without changing the definition halfway through. So in the sense that that you might talk about Bart Ehrman, I'm talking about scholarship on that level. So who's doing the work to be that kind of scholar? So you go see, if your grandmother has cancer, God forbid, We're going to go see an oncologist. That's a person who specializes in cancer. This is their whole thing.
Right.
You're not going to go talk to a plumber. Okay. You're also not going to go talk to your nephew in undergraduate, right, who's at the local community college taking a health science course. They teach him a little bit about cancer and stuff as well, but you're going to go see an oncologist. So we wouldn't call him a scholar in the same sense. And so that's the point.
I got you. And I acquiesce to that. You know what I'm saying? I'll agree to that. You know what I mean? Does it necessarily mean that a person who is studied and learned, you know what I'm saying, like even now with this information age, that someone can't become a scholar by studying and watching debates and reading books and literally using the same tools?
Well, let me ask you, do you think they can become a scholar in the same sense as, let's say, someone who they never entered school? Let's say they didn't graduate high school, which is the case for a lot of viewers on Paradigm Shift TV 314, and a lot of people comment. They didn't graduate high school, and if they did, they barely graduated. They went to an underperforming school, low literacy rates, low rates of mathematical proficiency. No matter how much you read, there's something additional in Zion, and you as a person who has an education, you know this. There is something to the fact that let me ask you, is there something to the fact that subject matter experts have checked your work? Is there something to that, or is it the same?
Yes, absolutely. So, peer review is very important.
Yes. So when you have a subject matter expert reading and reviewing your work to make sure that you understand it properly, because there's really only so much you can understand by reading.
You got you.
I got you. You have someone who's checking your work to make sure that you've understood it properly. The amount of people who I've heard on this channel and on numerous YouTube channels using terms that they don't know and don't understand. Now, they know the term. Like there was a man on here by the name of Chris Harris who wanted to talk about fallacies. He has no idea about fallacies. He's never taken a logic course. I've taken multiple. He's never taken a logic course. He couldn't define symbols. If I gave him a symbolic logic, he wouldn't know it. If I gave him formal fallacy, he wouldn't know the difference between a formal and informal fallacy. He has no idea. But so one day he was going back and forth to me, and he wanted to look up. He said that I committed a gaslighting fallacy. There's no such thing as a gaslighting fallacy in logic anywhere. You won't find it.
No, it would be a straw man or something, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends on what he means. But when he went on to a Wikipedia page, and he said this is an accepted term. It's not an accepted term in the field of logic. I have probably 14 logic books. I kid you not. I probably have 14 logic books here. None of them, even on the Venn diagram, formal and informal logic, no matter what it is, logic and argumentation, it doesn't matter. There's no such thing,
right,
as that fallacy. But he used it, and so he has no relevant education in the field, zero, and he was commenting on it. And so in logic, there is a such thing as an appeal to an inappropriate authority. There is one. Ad verecundum is the Latin name for it. There is a such thing as an inappropriate appeal to an appeal to an inappropriate authority, where if I want to talk politics and I cite Noam Chomsky's work is in linguistics.
Yeah.
No relevant education in the field of law or politics. So it makes no sense for me to cite that person because he has no relevant background.
Right.
So even if he's a scholar, so even if he is a legit scholar in his one field, he can't be cited somewhere else. A chess grandmaster is really good at chess.
Right.
He has no idea about, like, I would if I wanted to
cross or something. Right.
Exactly. So and so even less so if you don't have any education whatsoever, can you be included in that conversation? This is why even as an undergrad and anyone who's ever done any studies, it's why what you have to do is, I'm going to write a paper, even on the highest level. I'm going to write a paper. Needs to be citations that are there, showing that people back my position. So and herein lies the point. The people who we're talking to will make claims. They've read no scholarship. They've done no work. They can present you no citations. And if they do, like, they're presenting stuff wrong, they don't understand the topic. That's why you start pressing them on questions. They're not. So you say, hey, listen, it is legitimate. It adds credibility. It doesn't guarantee your conclusion, but it adds credibility to your position.
Right.
If you have backing from experts in this particular area. And so therein lies my entire point when I talk about this. So, and it's not arrogance when you're not appealing to yourself. It's arrogance when you're saying, hey, myself, I've studied nothing. I know nothing. I know nothing about the topic. Barely graduated high school, if I graduated whatsoever. May have a GED, may not have a GED. Nigga may be a janitor, nigga may be some anything, a security guard, whatever it is. And I don't have any relevant education over here. But trust me when I say, and I want to be able to combat someone who has a PhD, 16, 20, 30 years of education in this area. The person who's taking that position as a DJ, that person is arrogant. They have, and it's unearned arrogance. if I cite someone who's an expert in that field, or if I am an expert in that field,
you're qualified. Yeah, you're qualified.
Yeah, you
So-
can't treat
Zion-
my reading and there's reading
The
as
credibility, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we understand Zion. You don't even have an argument with him, then, right? We can move on.
No, yeah, he kind of cleaned that up.
You want to go, Lucifer?
But that's why I rock with Slim. You know what I'm saying? I think that Chris is severely outclassed when it comes to him debating.
Let's just watch. Let's just watch it. Y'all got a debate lined up, Leandre?
Yeah, real quick though. Let me just say this. Chris, I think he conflates arrogance and hubris with intelligence and scholarship.
Yes, he
and
does.
That's bad.
Yes, because that's what I'm saying. There's a such thing as unearned arrogance, and as a matter of fact, and if you go to the Christian Vice tradition, right, where you like, you remember the movie The Seven Deadly Sins? It's not named appropriately. It's really the 7 capital vices, but
right.
You have like one of the ones is pride. The other one is vainglory. Vainglory is where you want glory.
Vainglory, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's one of the vainglory is where you want glory for something that's really not worthy of glory. Like athletes, I don't think athletes deserve all the accolades that they get. Performers, they don't really do anything that's life changing. They entertain us, but that is really it. And it's a very recent thing. But then there's pride. Pride is where you have a misplaced sense of self-confidence, and that's where there's an issue. And pride, of course, it's on a branch of arrogance. And so people, you don't have the right. You don't have the right, Quinn, exactly. Most people in this space probably, exactly. And that's my position. So you don't actually have the right to take that sort of a very strong position there because you haven't earned it. You've done nothing. You've done nothing to talk the way that you do. And so if you have people who are unread, unlearned on a particular topic, you don't get to come speak the way that you do, especially when talking to someone who has learned, who has studied in that area. And not talking about me, but let's say that, for example, there's a PhD. There was a PhD level person, right? And let's say you're a person, you have a fake degree. You have a completely fake degree. You've studied nothing. You know nothing about any topic. And you come on there, you tell a PhD, I don't want to embarrass you with this knowledge and information. I mean, it's ridiculousness to do that. Let's say you don't know any language. You don't know any linguistics, whatever it is. And you want to come argue with someone who spent 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years in this area. That's really ridiculous. And it wouldn't matter if you're talking about a plumber. I'm not going to sit there and argue back and forth with a plumber on something and he has the requisite expertise in this. My opinion on this, and I've been looking at this for 5 minutes or I Googled it for 30 seconds. I don't know the nuances. I don't know the debates, the back and forth. I don't know the underlying philosophy of this whole thing. I don't know. I may be wrong. And I may be wrong for a bunch of reasons that I don't even know. So you don't approach the situation that way.
So does that mean you're going to debate anyone here that isn't on your what you feel to be your academic level?
No. Yeah, no. So I don't have a problem doing so. But what will be relevant, and in a debate, is your pathos, your ethos, your logos. Your ethos. This is one of the main ones. It's going to be one of the main ones. And so it's part of the whole persuasive experience.
Right.
Yeah. You make known, right, that.
Right, your pathology,
this
your
is my
ethics, and your
field
logic.
of expertise.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's why at the beginning of debates, like even in undergrad,
even in law.
Yeah. So even in law. So this is why you have to be a lawyer in order to present a case at law. Like you have to, if you're going to get there, present a case in most jurisdictions. Like in Canada,
Right.
you can have a bachelor's degree in law and still present. So, but no, and as Michelle Turner said, I wouldn't have many debates.
What's your? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be arrogant or nothing. What's your education background, just so I know?
Yeah, so I did study biblical hermeneutics and
idea.
interpretation. I do not really make any claims to that particular education, mostly because of how it ended at the end of that. So it was like Bible-based School of Theology, Toomey, the Urban Ministry Institute, Angelos Biblical Institute. So I did do those. But when it got towards the end, we were going to finish out the biblical interpretation stuff. They ended up switching stuff up to make things easier on some of the people, the participants. So you'll never hear me really making a reference. I'm only answering your question now.
Got you.
Outside of that, 2 poli-sci degrees, Master of History, Master of Law, Bachelor of Philosophy, Bachelor of Poli-sci. Those I have done even as an undergraduate, though, even though I didn't pursue it as to add on to as a major or anything like that. I did do loads of bib studies. I did study biblical Hebrew. I did study Koine Greek.
Nice.
Lots of BIP studies. Everything from studies in the book of Matthew, studies in the book of Genesis.
Right. Gotcha. I mean, that's technical. I mean, that's technically, most of that is, you know, foundational in any seminary school training. So yeah.
But here's the thing. So I didn't. But here's the thing. So I didn't attend seminary. I did just add. I just when I
added the classes. Yeah, I'm with you. I understand.
I just took loads and loads of classes. So I took a host of coursework, but focused very heavily on history, on the classics. On biblical studies, like I said, studies in the book of Matthew, studies in the book of Genesis, contemporary theology, ancient philosophy. I mean, you name it. I do have a video that's here on the page where there's a whole video where my credentials are up there. I posted my credentials. I posted my transcripts. They're all on the video and stuff up there, so you can see relevant stuff. I did study logic. So in philosophy, I did analytic philosophy. So analytic philosophy is the branch where you really deal with a lot of logic. So it's the application of logic to all of the philosophical inquiries.
Right.
So like philosophy of history, philosophy of science. I mean, you name it. It's a bunch of stuff. So.
All right. So let's get right to it then. Your thoughts on supersessionism?
Supersessionism? I'm not familiar with the
term. Like replacement theology.
Oh yeah. So no, I'm not a replacement theologian by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a Reformed Baptist, but I'm not a replacement theologian. I do think that there is historically and I think biblically a place for I think there are promises that belong to Israel that don't make any sense in applying to the church. So I don't hold to New Covenant theology at all.
Okay. So now we're getting somewhere. All right. So as it pertains, so then your thoughts on the New Testament. I mean, because I assume you're a Christian, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So your thoughts on the New Testament in terms of eschatological understanding, like do you deal with the rapture, things like this?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, and New Testament with respect to like what in particular?
Well, so my question is in your mind, so you say you don't think the church has replaced Israel?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay. So then, end time purposes, does Israel set up a government? Is there a practical understanding of how that looks?
Yeah. So I do think that from Isaiah, from Ezekiel, I think that there are particular passages that tell us that Israel is going to be set up. Israel is going to be set up in a very high-ranking place. I think over and above the Gentile nations. I think that there will be a resurgence of certain things, temple sacrifices.
Okay.
But with certain caveats that we can get into at a later time if you like. But I do think that they don't really make any sense trying to apply them any other way, and I haven't really seen an adequate explanation of them outside of that from like New Covenant practitioners.
Right.
I appreciate that. All right. So then from that perspective, then is your argument more with quote unquote Hebrew Israelites or with Christians in terms of biblical interpretation?
Well, yeah. So I don't think that Hebrew Israelite has any leg to stand on. One, either historically with the Matthew 16 understanding, nor with the vast majority of their interpretive techniques. I do not think that from one of my areas that I've written on in pursuit of my master's degree in history was particularly in the rise of Hebrew Israelism and the particular theology behind it. And so I don't think that they have a particular leg to stand on. Lots of
so you're going back to the 1920s with the commandment keeping?
Well, yeah, I would go back to 1800.
I would say 1800s.
Yeah, 1800s.
Yeah, yes, I would go back to 1800 period. Not with Hebrew Israelism per se, but
Black Judaism.
But with the and not even Black Judaism. And I do appreciate the term though, because it is a relevant term. But Black Judaism itself, Black Judaism proper. And scholars have made a point to, and so like a lot of their writings, you'll see capitalize Black Judaism with a capital B and a capital J versus lowercase b and a lowercase j, to differentiate between like the latter would be like Black Hebrew Israelism, Black Judaism, versus Black practitioners of Rabbinic Judaism.
Right.
But no, so I would actually say that now, and there are published works that are on the topic. Which I've handed on talk about before, but yeah, I think that I don't think Hebrew Israelites have a historical leg to stand on, and it is one of the areas that I particularly focus on in pursuit of my master's degree in history. So, welcome to.
You mean just in terms of their identity? Because I don't want to
I think all around. I think that there's a problem from there's a theological issue with Black Hebrew Israelism in that one of the main issues is that you don't pop up until a certain point in time in history.
Yeah.
At 1905 is the earliest date that historians give to Black Hebrews. 1905 is the earliest date that
But
historians.
that's what I mean. So that's what I'm saying. Identity. Like my argument wouldn't even be about identity.
Not even identity, but also the hermeneutics, the interpretation, all that stuff like that. Those.
But
things,
a lot of their hermeneutics, hold on, Zion. A lot of their hermeneutics, though, other than Deuteronomy 28, because that hinges on identity, right? Deuteronomy 28 is
right. No, and I wouldn't even say that because lots of.
I'm talking to Zion. I'm talking to Zion.
My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, now because I brought up the Deuteronomy 28 issue, which is
I'm talking more
identity issue is mainly focused on. Go ahead, brother. Hard self. I got you.
You good, man. I want to understand because I would say a lot of, well, not a lot, those that are scholastic, right? Mm-hmm. We do have some scholastic brews out here, right? From their perspective, they would agree with you on a remnant theological perspective versus a replacement theological perspective, right? Yeah. And so that's what I mean. Like in that area, you would agree then that they got that correct, at least, right?
Well, yeah. So it depends. So in effect that there's going to be a remnant that remains on that particular point. Yes. The identification of the Negro.
Like I said, not the identity part. I ain't gonna argue the identity part.
But like I said, but part of it is hermeneutical because the way that Deuteronomy 28 is interpreted is a very new, novel way of interpreting Deuteronomy 28. So, like I said, so it's not just identity, but it's how they get to identity is with their hermeneutic. And so the hermeneutic says that Deuteronomy or any particular passage of the Bible can be read and interpreted that way in opposition to the ways that, like the historic ways that we can show that the Jews interpreted their scriptures. And remember, we have all sorts of extant.
I think part is hermeneutics as it pertains to that is very,
Yeah, but and like I said, there's a whole historical development, and one of the other things that I did in a whole different class was write on the different identity issues that have arisen with Negroes post-slavery. And so there's a whole, there's a whole larger story to that whole thing. But yes, I think that part of it is hermeneutics, and part of it is the identity thing. And there's a reason for both of those. And in history, what we do is we're examining, it's a diachronical analysis of causation. Mm-hmm. And so there are reasons for a novel interpretation that didn't exist in any time in Negro or African or Black theology proper prior to.
Just to make it simplified for the audience, he's saying the reason that these people are claiming this is because they're having an identity crisis. That's the simplified way of saying that, right? And so, I do want to build with you. I want to see where we can fight at. I really thought you were going to be a supersessionalist, and so since you're not, I'm excited to see your other thoughts on the Bible. If not, I think we can find some other things to fight on. Stop telling people to shut up, fam. Don't be tough up here.
No. I'm tough everywhere, so it's not. Just
I'm from Cali too, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, if you're from Cali, you know how Cali niggas get down. But I'm
gonna tell you to shut up too. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna be some we're gonna be some shutting up saying ass niggas. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. Hey, listen, I'm here for it because Cali niggas understand, but it's all good.
Yeah. We pull up and catch the fade and go get something to eat. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, I tried to explain to a couple niggas before. Like, that's what we can do. We can do it in that order.
Right there in that order, right? Catch the fade and then go get something to eat. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I'll go there.
You know what I mean? So I'll let Lucifer jump in. I want
to man, because you doing too much with that Lucifer shit, man. I already did it.
Be quiet, man. I already spanked you.
Did a whole
go to bed, man.
Did a whole presentation on Super Wavy channel on
go to your room,
atheist God complex. Now I just needed to say that the atheist God complex, where they have to literally try to assume the antithesis of the book just to try to prove a point. It's
Zion, you letting him get away, bro.
Hey. You just ran the nigga off, bro. Like
can
Nigga
Lucifer speak? Bro. Can Lucifer speak, please?
Yeah,
thank you.
Hey Zion, bro, like, you owe me a fade for that shit, nigga.
Let him get a turn.
I'll smash your head in all day. You already know.
Now you owe me a favor.
Yeah, come back, sis, because he took a quick little step
All
away.
right, let me have a conversation with Cannon. Can you Christian?
Yeah.
So, do you believe? I'm not even believe. Do you agree with the?
Reader, bro, I don't debate, yo.
All right, just have a conversation then, because Sergeant Waters went somewhere. I don't know where the hell he went.
For sure.
Hey, I got some.
Let him answer. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you going to ask me?
The historicity of Christianity, does it involve violence?
Does the historicity of Christianity involve violence? Yes.
Every religion. That's the human. That's the
Zion, this is the bill between
All religions
Cannon and Lucifer.
My bad.
are violent.
Thank you. Go on mute, please.
Let me debate Zion real quick.
You don't have to be arrogant about it. Because I don't have a problem getting shot out. I'll cut somebody out quick. So please be
Zion, you want to talk, bro? I'm trying to talk to these
Who are you
Christians. You
talking
ain't even
to?
Christian, bro. You are all
I'm talking
brand
to you,
Christian.
Sage.
No, you're not.
Christian.
You're not talking to me.
Yes, I am.
No, the fuck you're not.
I addressed you. You said something.
And I said thank you for being quiet, and then you got an attitude. Nobody was being nasty. That's you being emotional. You're being emotional because I thanked you for your compliance. There's something wrong with that. You need to get evaluated. You literally jumped off the ledge because I thanked you for being in compliance with what I asked you. There's something wrong. There's something amiss. Thank you.
Go ahead, Joshua. Leon Jordan.
Wait, what happened? The crackhead gone?
Zion got booted because he didn't know how to control himself.
Man, I'm telling you, be on that booger sugar. I told you. I told you.
Like
That shit
What were you going to ask Sergeant Waters?
Man, look, man. Hold on. Let me get my thoughts together again, because this nigga threw me all the way off.
You was going Christianity and violence.
Yeah. So do you understand, or what's your understanding of Christianity, the historicity of Christianity and its involvement with violence?
So from the beginning, Christians are not immune to any of the particular activities of men. Some Christians have engaged in violence. Christianity itself, Christianity, and I'm making a purposeful distinction here, is largely unrelated to violence. I think that there are particular groups of Christians who have engaged in violence, but on the whole, but even still, with that, there are legitimate and illegitimate uses of violence by governing authorities, whether they're Christian, atheist, agnostic, or whatever. So it more so depends on what you mean. Like you're talking about unauthorized violence, violence that that's not proper. There are things that legally and logically there's a difference between a legitimate and illegitimate use of force. And so there's sometimes legitimate uses of force, other times illegitimate uses. So it more so depends on what you mean. But Christians have engaged in violence, but Christianity itself is not engaged, nor does it teach violence explicitly for
Really?
causes. Yeah, really.
It doesn't teach violence. Historically, it doesn't.
No.
So it does not teach to destroy pagans, destroy their monuments, destroy their places of worship, force them to convert, force them to be baptized. If they do not do this, they will get beheaded, persecuted, flogged. It does not teach that. We don't have that in Christianity.
No, you don't have that. Yes, I do.
Man, where DMG? Step this shit up, man.
Hey,
Hold on, let's flesh out the argument.
You see how somebody is being reasonable, saying let's flesh out the argument, try to see but in the other person, it's how you know that there's a difference here. But go ahead, let's flesh it out.
I just want to have the debate, brother. Like you said, it did. You said it doesn't. I'm saying it does. We got our contention. I don't need to have a long conversation about this.
What he's saying is there's a difference between the teachings of Christianity and what Christians do.
Well, he can't dictate what the teaching of Christianity is. The teaching of Christianity isn't just the Bible.
Well,
the teaching of Christianity.
Now you see how ridiculous that is? Because both debaters would actually have to show that it's the teaching of Christianity.
Wait.
Not of Christian. So this is a
Hold
ridiculous.
on, everybody be quiet. I'm trying to hear what he's saying.
This is a ridiculous position by someone who really hasn't thought this through. Any person taking the position, we're talking about Christianity. Christianity is the belief system. Christians are the people who adhere to the belief system. So we're gonna say the Christianity proper teaches. It wouldn't matter what you swap out. If you say Target versus Target employees.
Gotcha.
So if you ask what the Target handbook says, does the Target handbook tell you to beat customers over the head, with phone books or whatever it is? That'd be one thing versus showing that someone who's a Target employee beat somebody over the head with a phone book. Those are different things. But the argument is supposed to be the Christianity. That's a belief system. So this is not one.
My 18 body talking like that. You're gonna be my 18 body.
Talking has never thought about it.
You're gonna be my 18 body. That's crazy.
Wait, but every religion is rooted has war connected to it.
Oh, who cares? He's saying that it's not a part of the teachings of Christianity. I'm saying it is.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Hey, DMG, where you at, man? Set this shit up, man. That's all I need to hear.
I ain't gonna lie, I want to see that debate. I just want to see it worded right. But I'm a mind.
No. Listen. Here's what you should do. Instead of just doing that, I want you to, because you hear the flaw right now.
I'm minding my business.
I wouldn't take that debate.
No. Don't mind your business. Don't mind your business. I want you. Listen. You need to say like, no, it's flawed because here's why. Go ahead and say it because you hear the flaw in it already.
Nah, look, styles make fights. Styles make fights.
Christianity is just constricted to your ideology based on the book. That's what you think it is. That's not Christianity.
I hear this. Y'all hear what he's saying?
Yeah, hear it. It's recorded. Write it down. I'm taking notes.
This right here is already off to a bad start.
All right, well, you be my 18 body.
Let me ask you a question. What's your education?
High school. That's it.
I can tell, but go ahead.
Yeah, you're right.
High school. That's it. This nigga is Chris Jr. Chris Harris. Like, y'all niggas the same niggas.
No. Me and Chris Harris ain't the same nigga because my degrees are in fact. His degrees are a mystery. He won't show you.
I have no degrees. I am a high school trades. I went into the trades.
I can tell. Believe me, I can tell. It sounds like
I got a question.
What we gonna do is set up your funerary arrangements. That's what we gonna do. You gonna be my 18 body, nigga.
Hey, before you get done with them, Cosmo gonna go, and then I got another line of question for you, Leandre. Then I'm gonna leave you alone.
Ask away.
Yeah. Peace to the panel. Hey, salute to you, big bro. Take. I ain't seen you in a while, man, but it's good to
big dog.
See you. Still in the land of the living, my nigga.
Yes, sir.
Straight up. Hey, but how many people on the panel? I don't know how many Christians are up here. Bible believers is up here. I don't really know how it's panning out, but for those,
I believe in Christianity, nigga. I support Christianity. What you talking about?
That's who said that?
Me. Because I believe in domination and subjugation of lesser groups.
Yeah, that's exactly what it do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you on that. But all I'm saying is, I got a question for people who read the Bible, study the Bible, claim to be ministers of the Bible, whatever. In the book of Genesis, and this is just one question. I got many questions about the scripts, but in the book of Genesis, that part where it says, "Let us make man." That us part, I know. I already know the answer to the question, but I want to know if anybody in here knows who that us is when they say "let us make man." Is there any ideas on who that could possibly be?
Cannon, go ahead.
It's Leandre's show.
I'm letting y'all. I'm just moderating.
It's Leandre's show.
Yeah.
So there's two main answers. One of which is the royal we. The other answer is that there's really three answers. It's a Trinitarian discussion. The other one is that it's the divine council discussion.
That's why you asked me to answer, but
okay. And then
I don't want to cut you real quick, but I need, because I'm gonna bounce off of here. When are you available for the what y'all do to show the
face off?
The face off.
I don't do
DMG.
I don't do face off.
They do face off here. That's how
I
they promote it.
I don't do.
So you don't want to promote the debate?
I do debates. I don't do face offs.
But we got to promote the debate, man.
Did you hear my answer, or are you just gonna keep repeating yourself?
Right. Man, this dude is Chris Harris, bro. This dude is
how many times you hear me say I don't do face offs? I just do the debate. You don't keep repeating yourself. I don't.
All right, whatever, man. You don't want to promote the debate.
You stupid or something? Like I don't
I'm
understand.
gonna get with DMG in the morning and just to see when we can have a discussion and get back to you with some dates that work for you. All right. If you
I'm good on the
have
Lord's Day. I only debate on the Lord's Day. I like killing motherfuckers on the Lord's Day, on Sunday, nigga. I present my sacrifices to the patron deity. On Jesus Christ and Virgin Mary, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about?
That shit crazy.
I hear you, bro.
I got another question.
Andre is unbothered.
I got another interesting idea too to think
These
about.
are softballs. Like these are softballs. They present no challenges. I'm overeating.
I presented the challenge. You didn't even know the word that I was talking about. So everybody else is, you know what I'm saying? I kind of would agree with you.
I got a question for. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
Is he available on Sundays too? Are you a choir
He's
boy?
in the room. Ask him straight up.
I'm asking him. Are you available on Sundays, nigga?
Yeah, I'm available on Sundays.
All right, cool. All right. On the Lord's Day,
your head smushed.
I got another question for the New Testament believers in the chat. How do you present Paul the apostle as an actual apostle, right? When in the book of Acts it's documented what an apostle's requirements are, and Paul, obviously, since he didn't walk with Messiah, he could never be considered an actual apostle. How is it that some people claim that he's an actual apostle?
Can I respond to that real quick?
No. Let the man that's here to answer questions.
Go ahead. He actually addressed it to
all. That's my issue.
Because this
Anon. He did not address.
I don't care, fam. It's old boy show. Like I'm just what I'm trying to tell you the whole time.
Yeah, Leandre. Anybody can answer it, but Leandre can answer it if he wants to. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say this too. I want to make sure.
He addressed it to all New Testament believers. He did not just address it to Saul.
Yeah, but Leandre can
back in.
Wait, hold on, Cosman. Hey, who you talking to, nigga?
Crazy, man.
Hey, that's how Christians
get that. All right, we don't got it rah. We ain't got it rah. Ain't nobody.
Let's have a conversation.
All right. Yeah, let's get back to it.
Here's my issue.
Here's
my issue. Since you don't seem to know how to control yourself, why do you keep stepping in front of Leandre whenever somebody's talking?
No,
he's
I want
a big
to answer
boy.
the question. He asked the question.
Bro, the entire time.
That was my bad.
The entire time. Calm down, Sprite.
Come on,
bro. Calm down, Sprite.
Don't do that, bitch.
Chill.
Calm down, bro. Relax, bro. You the only person on here acting like a man.
So what I'm
hold on. Don't let him off, bro. We're gonna address this now. I ain't never disrespected you, OG. Never, and I never will.
Oh, you have, but right now
I've never disrespected.
Right now, I
never disrespected you. Here's the issue, bro. Here's the issue, bro. Here's the issue, bro. You do not know how to control yourself.
I'm talking about the bitch.
You do not know how to.
He made a broad.
Yeah, you're.
I did ask the question broadly, so
New Testament believers, and I
got you, fam. I deal with you when I deal with you. Say less. I deal with you when I deal with you. I don't care about all the yelling, bro.
All right.
I deal with you.
Let me get back to the.
So can someone answer Cosman's question without all the yelling and extraness?
And let me say, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Queen. And let me say this too, because like I said, in the book of Acts, right after Messiah had went up and the Holy Spirit came down, it was documented by Peter and the 11 of the requirements for an apostle. One of the requirements was you had to have walked with the Messiah while he was having his ministry. Paul wasn't there nowhere near Jesus or Yeshua. But then he pops up on the scene saying, yo, I seen him on a boat. I mean, on a horse. He knocked me. I seen light. I heard a voice, but he never walked with him. So even if he did, how do you justify him being called an apostle?
It's mythos, bro. It ain't meant to be taken literally.
Right. I get that too.
No.
Quick
See,
question, guys, before you answer. Is anybody else done so I can let somebody else rotate onto the panel?
No, I got more questions.
But wait. Hold on. Wait. Who just said that it's mythos? Who said that?
Lucifer.
Now
He just talking shit. I'm asking the actual question.
No, I'm being serious. It is mythos. That shit
well,
didn't
I
really happen.
don't know what you mean by mythos. But
What?
this is where
It didn't really happen.
Well, but
It's fabricated.
here's the issue that I have, Lucifer.
So you saying Paul was lying?
No, look. Here's the issue that I have.
No,
Lucifer.
it's not lying. They made a story.
Paul
Like
said he lied.
Pixar, when they created a Toy Story, it's just a story, right? It's a
Well-
fabricated story.
Well,
They're not
Paul was
lying.
the actual. Well, all right, I hear what you're saying. We'll pause. But go ahead. Let me shut up. I'm gonna mute my mic.
So that's not what mythos means. It's definitely not what mythos means to any scholar or historian. So Lucifer, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You sound like an idiot. So mythos to a scholar historian actually means that the person is invoking the divine and talking about an event that actually took place. So if I say God woke me up this morning, that classifies as mythos, classifies as a myth because I've invoked the divine instead of pointing to something natural or some artifact. I pointed the cause as being something divine. So I know you don't know what you're talking about. And this is why you shouldn't be in the discussions like this. You say something like mythos. Mythos means that the person is, why are you talking? Why are you talking? No. One of us is a historian. The other one is a dude who is admittedly only graduated high school.
Yeah, I'm a graduate of high school.
You're still talking. Mythos to a historian means that a person has invoked the divine. It doesn't mean that.
Hey, do you know what a connotation is?
Yeah, listen, you're still talking. You mean connotation, but you're still going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? Since
What
you're
about
trying to
Paul though?
distort it
Is Paul a false apostle?
Can I finish what I'm saying? So here's the problem. You're using mythos incorrectly. Mythos doesn't mean that it didn't happen. I said,
So is it applicable to
You're
the way I use?
You're still going. Hey, Cannon, can you moderate and mute the niggas if you come off and mute
All right,
again?
so I'm gonna read Merriam-Webster. I'm gonna read Merriam-Webster.
Let him finish talking before you start.
Yeah.
You
Now
cut them off.
remember how I said before that there's substances to a definition? Here is a person who in high school clearly did not know. Excuse me one second. What's up, boys?
Actually, I do know how to properly.
No, you don't know how a dictionary works because you're gonna try to read me something again. And
I'm gonna read it right here.
What about Paul though?
Here goes again. In context of history, where you have zero expertise and I do, in context of history and whether something happened, right? We talk about a diachronical analysis of causation. We're talking about that. Mythos in that context means that someone has invoked the divine. This is not anything that I just say. Michael Heiser has an entire discussion on it. Dr. Michael Heiser has an entire discussion on what myth means to a scholar and a historian. Whoever the Lucifer dude is has no idea what he's talking about. He's at best high school graduate.
That's not how I applied it, and you know it.
Mute the brother again, or move him from the panel so he can shut up if he comes off again.
Right.
No, because you're using
Put him in the back till I'm done.
Hey,
Put him
can
in the
you
back till I'm done.
Do that like y'all did.
mute
me.
up? Just mute up. Thank you.
Mute up. Shut up. Anyway, so here's the problem. The problem is that when you're talking to a historian or a scholar, we talk about whether an event took place. Saying that something is a mythos means that a person has invoked the divine. They're talking about. They say, if I say God woke me up this morning, me saying that God woke me up this morning, that becomes a myth because I'm invoking the divine. I'm invoking something spiritual. If I say I was woken up by my alarm clock, that would not classify as a myth unless say that God hit the alarm clock or something. So it doesn't mean that the event didn't happen. A person can invoke the divine, and it doesn't mean that the events didn't take place. For example, you have all sorts of myths that are written in hieroglyphs on temple reliefs in Egypt. They're myths. Why? Because they're one sacrifice to the gods. They invoke the gods. All this kind of stuff. They classify as myths. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen. If I say so and so was born from the gods, Romulus and Remus, for example, were born from the gods. That's myth. It doesn't mean Romulus and Remus weren't born, whether or not they existed.
Was Paul a false apostle or not though?
Well,
according to the scripture.
But again, I'm still speaking. So here's the issue. So one, he's not a false apostle. But two, again, the use of mythos is wrong. It's just incorrect. There's no scholar using the term that way. It's nonsense. There's no historian using the term that way because they know what the term means. And so the person talking has no idea what the term means. Anyway.
Actually, I do because I can read the dictionary.
Please put him in the back chat.
Hold on, Lucifer.
Thank you. So anyway, so here's the thing. So to the question. So my question to you, Prince Cosmo, let me ask you a question. I'm going to answer your question. Was Matthias chosen to replace Judas in Acts chapter 1? Yes or no?
In Acts chapter 1, they chose Matthias.
Yes.
Who had been with them from the beginning of Jesus' ministry is what's stated in the text.
Where? What verse?
They said we need one who has been from among us in chapter 1. In chapter 2.
It says in chapter 1, it says he was one of our number and shared in our ministry. It doesn't say.
That's my point. Exactly. He was one of our number and he shared in our ministry. Paul never did.
Well, no. Well, first of all.
Period.
No. That's your suggestion. Where does it say he walked?
No, you can look through the history books, and in the scriptures itself, and you can see.
Chris,
that.
demonstrate. Show me the verse. Show me the verse where it says he walked with Jesus.
Show you what verse that says what?
That says that says Messiah walked with Jesus. Show me the verse.
Peter literally just said, I just showed you. He was.
No, you did. It says he was one of their ministry.
He was of their ministry. One of them he was with them the whole time.
No,
with Yeshua.
No, it doesn't say that.
I'm reading Acts 1 right now. I'm trying to see where it says that though.
It doesn't say that.
Go to chapter 2.
Matthias might have never met Jesus. Doesn't mean.
Yeah, but that's what the text is implying is that.
Prince Cosmo, just show me the verse. I don't care about implication. Just show me the verse. I'll read the verse for you.
Chapter 2. Start at chapter 2, verse 1. Or go. Yeah, Pentecost. Go down to when they chose. I think it's right after that.
They choose Matthias in chapter 1. They choose Matthias in chapter 1, bro.
Okay, so read that part.
Okay, it says he was one of our number and shared in our ministry. That's what it says.
Okay.
So
what does that actually mean? That when he shared in the ministry with Yeshua, because that was their minister. You dig what I'm saying? They wasn't going with nobody else. They was going. The 12 was rocking with Jesus, with Yeshua. So Matthias was with them.
Well, that's your claim, but the problem is that the text doesn't say that. The other thing is that
well, they didn't. Paul wasn't even in the.
All right, let's just end the conversation. Acts 1:23.
Well, no.
You're right. So let me just read it so we can just get past it, right? This is just crazy. I hate when these OSB dudes do this.
I'm not. First of all, this is not nothing. It's not nothing.
Right, that's okay. My fault. Don't get triggered. My bad, bro. Acts 1:22. Start verse 3. And they fall back, bro. And they appointed two: Joseph called Barsabas, who was surnamed Justus, and Matthias. And they prayed and said, "Thou Lord, which knowest the hearts of all men, show whether of these two that thou hast chosen." Verse 25.
Where's Paul at?
Hold on, verse 25. That he may take part of this ministry and apostleship. Not that he was already a part. No, it does not say that he was already a part of it. It says that he may take part of
right.
this
But he had wait, let me say this. Let me say this. Hold on. You can't advance past the text. All right, go ahead.
Okay, wait.
All right, go ahead.
Wait.
Let him finish reading.
Two more verses.
And then you can respond.
And then who's the moderator here? Who's the moderator?
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to get it out, Leon.
Go ahead.
I think it's a dumb argument, bro. That he may take part of this ministry and apostleship from which Judas by transgression fell, that he may go to his own place. And they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell upon Matthias.
It fell upon Paul.
And the lot fell upon Matthias. Hey, fall back, bro. And the lot fell upon Matthias. And he was numbered with the 11, not numbered previously. Yeah, it does not say that he was a part of their number previously. Right. He was actually chosen. He's actually chosen to come in and be a part of the number.
Yes. So here's the issue that I have. So where did he go? Did he jump off, or did you put him in the back?
No, he wouldn't be quiet, so I put him in the back.
Okay. Yeah. You can bring him back. So here's the issue.
Nor was Paul numbered previously. Paul wasn't numbered previously either.
Wait, Chris. Here's
exactly the point.
Chris, here's the issue that I have. So the issue that I have is I don't have a problem with Matthias living. I don't have a problem with Matthias living during the time of Jesus. I don't have a problem with him being a follower.
He was with them according to the text.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
No, he shared in the ministry.
So here's the problem. But here's the thing. But sharing in the ministry doesn't mean, because here's the issue. What we get from the New Testament gospel is that by and large that Jesus was followed by and large by the 12. It's followed by and large by the 12. You had sections and times where other people might come in, but the idea
exactly. Where was Paul at?
Let me finish what I'm saying. You keep interrupting. I need you to pause and listen to the full argument so you can respond then. So here's the issue: that you had some people who were followers, who were believers, who were apostles, but they could have been in different places all over the place. It doesn't mean that they walked with Jesus in the very same way. Part of the issue is that, and I want to ask you your interpretation of Galatians 1. But here's the issue. I don't have a problem with his living. He's obviously was old enough to have lived during that time. He could have been in some other city. We don't know. We don't know. And even if they're saying he was one of our ministry, we don't really know what that means. He could have been part of the 2x2 sent out, but it doesn't mean, because every time that we hear We hear about crowds following Jesus. We hear about Jesus being consistently followed by the 12 and then people walking away from him over and over again. But he was consistently followed by the 12. He consistently taught the 12. And so his specific teaching over and over and over again in the New Testament Gospels.
Where was Paul?
Okay, Chris, you got to stop interrupting, bro. Or we finish moving to the back. You can't keep interrupting because you ain't even let me get to Paul. I'm talking to you about Matthias. You keep doing it. You got to stop. Okay. So here's the issue. Paul didn't have to be around during this time, and so here's the issue. One, through the New Testament Gospel, you don't have Matthias named. You do have other disciples named, but they could have been other places. Majority of the time in teaching went to the 12 apostles, and he specifically says he's teaching them the 12. So you don't have Matthias included in this number of people walking with Jesus in the same way. You just don't have it. You're not going to find it anywhere. Now, here's the other issue. I want to know your interpretation of Galatians 1. Can you please tell me how you interpret Galatians 1, especially if you're going with this with the suggestion stuff? How do you interpret Galatians 1 starting at like chapter verse 11 going through verse 20?
Okay. We can read it real quick because I'm not 100% familiar. I know they were talking about bewitchment in the Galatians. I know the fruits of the spirit is mentioned, the fruits of lust and all that is mentioned. I'm not specifically certain on what's in chapter 1, so we'd have to read it. But before we do,
what position do scholars usually take on this, like experts on Galatians?
Well, the major scholar that I'm been studying on Paul for the last maybe 3 years his name is Robert Eisenman, and he has a lot of interesting information. You need to look him up right now. Write that name down, Robert Eisenman, and his the predominance of his research is concerning the brother of Yeshua, who was James the Just. Yeah. Now, James the Just was the leader, according to church fathers.
Chris, I'm asking about Galatians 1. Can you explain Galatians 1, 11 through 18? How do you interpret it?
Can you read it if you will? I can't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the version you want me to read it from?
Well, hold on 1 second. Before you read it, like I said, well, go ahead. Just read it from any version. Just go ahead. Go follow your train of thought. Because what I'm trying to say is that James, the brother of Yeshua, was the leader of the Jerusalem church during the first century time. Not Paul. But go ahead.
No disagreement. Well, I don't know why you said that. Did anybody tell you it was Paul?
No, but that's what's commonly understood because nobody listens. Wait, hold on, James.
No, Chris, you're not going to find anyone who says that and I'm telling you, I'll bet all the money I have right now that you won't find anyone who says nobody. Right. Nobody who says the Apostle Paul was the leader of the Jerusalem church. Nobody. You won't find anybody who says
exactly. I don't know why y'all keep saying that. James is the leader.
James. That's what I'm saying. We agree. James is the leader of the Jerusalem church after his brother Yeshua dies.
No disagreement. But
now James and Paul. Now this is what's going to blow your mind is when you read the actual historicity, the historical references. And I'm not talking about just New Testament literature.
Chris, Galatians 1. What are we talking about? Galatians 1. 11.
Yeah, I know you want to get there, but I'm just trying to let you understand that.
Chris,
go ahead.
Chris, you got to respond to the argumentation though. Nobody said anything about Paul being leader of Jerusalem church.
I know, but I'm not.
Roman Catholics are going to tell you that.
What I'm trying to tell you is that Paul is not the apostle. Period. Nobody listened to Paul. None of the truth. Wait, let me finish real quick. Tank, you know it's respect. You already know it's respect, big bro. All I'm trying to say is that the Apostle Paul's literature, right, shouldn't be taken it shouldn't be taken against James. James was the leader. Paul was just this cat that was really Roman. Paul was a Roman. He was not from the tribe of Benjamin like he claims to be in Rome in the book of Romans. Paul was
from Robert Eisenman.
This is what I'm talking about. Is from Josephus right here. But Paul's birthright was Rome. He even says it in the Bible when they beat him up in Jerusalem because he was teaching heresies against Jerusalem church.
Y'all gotta stop.
Wait, hold on. I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to make a point, yo. It's very.
This is a bad scholastic argument, bro.
It's like a rabbit hole, really.
It's not a rabbit hole. It's historicity behind it. You can look it up. It's Josephus talking.
Disney strip, bro.
I got a
arguing a Walt Disney strip.
What I'm trying to.
I got a couple of pieces real quick, and I'll let y'all get back to.
All I asked was how is Paul a true apostle? That's it. That's all.
He said yes.
Real quick, where was Paul during the time of Jesus? Probably. Some of that time was in Jerusalem.
Yes.
Yeah, it's mentioned in the book of Acts.
They are contemporaries.
Yes, listen.
We know that Paul has knowledge of certain things that Jesus taught about according to some of the letters.
He got it from James.
No, wait. Here's the issue, though. Here's the issue, Chris.
We know exactly what Paul was doing.
Chris, by the criteria that you even laid out, if Paul is a contemporary of Jesus, who knew about Jesus and persecuted Christians, and in which case this conversion came within 1 to 3 years after Christ, he would have known about him. He would have been a contemporary, and so he would.
Yeah, he taught opposite of what he was teaching, though.
It wouldn't matter. But listen, but here's the thing: he would have walked during that time. But listen, and here's the other thing: the Galatians 1 thing is still an issue.
Go ahead.
It's an issue for you. But here's the issue: Paul is not someone who came 50, 60, 70 years later claiming the title of apostleship. He didn't come 2,000 years later. He would have been alive and existing during that time. He would have been there in the place, in the time, familiar with the teaching of Jesus. So when they mentioned Pharisees, he would have been one of those ones who would have been familiar with the teaching of Jesus.
Right.
So,
but he didn't walk with him, though, right?
Well, I don't know what you mean by walk with him, but here's the problem. Galatians 1 presents an issue for you. Galatians 1 presents an issue where Paul, and then I got to ask you another question. So, and let me ask you this before we get into Galatians 1.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take the testimony of Acts to be accurate history?
The Acts is splitting up in two different documents. There's an I document, there's a we document in Acts. Okay. So there's a historical, yes, the events in Acts are documented.
For example, is that, what do you take of Acts chapter 10?
It's historical events.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now, what chapter now is which one do you take to be valid, the I or the we document?
I take it all for what it is, and I look at it based on the historicity to see what's more accurate, because I think it's literature.
Chris, that's not Chris. It's everything written is literature, but that's not the answer.
No. I mean,
no, Chris.
You have history and you have literature. Historicity and literature are two different things.
Chris, as a historian, they're not. Anything written is going to be literature. If it's written history, it's literature.
No, it don't have. Literature can be fictional.
No. But
historicity is facts.
I know, but here's the issue. I'm telling you, all written history is literature, all of it. So the parts of the Bible that's written by Shakespeare is what I'm considering literature. Chris,
you see what I'm saying?
Wait, let's focus. Chris, let's focus. Here's a question I have for you. The part of Acts where it talks about Paul's conversion is, do you take that to be accurate history?
I think he told that lie, yes, in real life.
Did Paul write it?
I think he wrote a lie, yes. Told a lie. I don't know if he wrote it or if it was the we document. Like I said, the we document it seems to be more than one person, like either him and Luke or something. But
well, what do you consider the conversion of the Apostle Paul? And
I think he lied. I think Paul made up some shit about meeting Jesus to create Christianity and push Christianity as the religion of the Romans.
Chris, there's a particular. Well, Chris, you have no backing for that.
I have hella backing for it. I got Josephus. I got Paul. I got Robert Eisman. I got many church fathers. What's the other name? Origen. All of these men speak about Paul in real life, in history, what he was doing with James, what was going on between him and James, the brother of Yeshua, for real.
Chris, majority of the people you just named,
they were at odds. James and Paul fought each other in the Bible.
Chris, no, they didn't.
It's in the book of Acts. My whole point is to say that
Acts 21. I can't do this.
Chris, is Acts 15 historical?
All of it is.
No, is Acts 15.
So when you go to the first century and you see Paul and you see James, right, in real life, what they was doing with each other, documented history shows you that they were at odds in teaching and doctrine. James and them were Nazarenes, right? They didn't eat no meat. Paul told you could eat whatever you want.
Chris,
just pray.
No, he didn't.
Chris, I need to ask you a question. Did Acts 15 happen the way it's recorded? Acts 15.
Is that the section that talks about him and James meeting up at Jerusalem?
No. Acts 15 is the Jerusalem Council. Acts
right. That's what I'm talking about.
No, listen, so I can explain it to you.
Go ahead, explain it.
Acts 15 is the Jerusalem Council. That's why he's asking, is this an actual event? Acts 21 is when Paul comes and he ends up getting basically snatched up because they're trying to say that he's teaching the Jews not to keep the law of Moses. And Paul actually clears this up and says, I'm teaching the Jews to keep the law of Moses, and I'm teaching the Gentiles to keep the actual commandment that was passed at the Jerusalem Council in Acts 15.
Okay, so Chris, did Acts 15, does that represent accurate history? Did it happen the way it's recorded in Acts 15?
He don't know. Let's move on.
I can answer it didn't happen.
Okay, congratulations. Anyway,
No congratulations. Y'all
I just said yes like 6 times. They muted my mic, but I said yes. It's accurate information.
Okay. Now
I'm
listen.
like, what point are y'all trying to make?
Who gave? Listen, and after this, listen,
This is a lot of history we talking about right here. By the way, go ahead.
Not history.
I'm gonna run in just a second. But listen, but Chris, the question is did the brother of Jesus give the verdict in Acts 15?
What was the verdict? You got to read it. Just read it, bro. I know that's if James gave it, that's the brother of Jesus. So yes.
Okay, so cool. So if he gave the verdict,
go ahead.
Did he stamp the teaching of the Apostle Paul after hearing what the Apostle Paul's teaching in gospel?
That's what's written in that text, but that's not written by Peter either.
But that's why it don't have to be written by Peter. I asked you if it happened, if it's accurate history of what's written there.
The accurate history, you can read it for yourself. It's in Josephus, and it's in the in Robert Eisman's documents. He documents all. Wait, hold on. He documents all the information, and what it states is that James and we're at odds with each other because of doctrine.
That's his claim, but we're now going to the primary source. Primary source is Acts. I just asked you if it's accurate history. A scholar's conclusion. It can be right, it can be wrong, it can be slightly off. I'm asking you based on Acts 15, which I just asked you if it's accurate history. I'm asking you if the brother gave the verdict. If he did, I'm asking you. So if it's accurate, then that means that what's written there is going to be accurate. So if he gave the verdict, then that means that the brother Jesus gave the verdict. We can then look at it to see what the verdict was.
They added that in there. I'm trying to tell you that New Testament is tampered with so much, man. They had an agenda to push Christianity.
Listen, that's fine. Let me ask you a question.
Pauline Christianity, to be exact.
Chris, let me ask you a direct question. Very direct. And Courtney, come off mute because I'm going to ask you something. Chris, let me ask you a question. Do you have any manuscript evidence of the book of Acts in the entirety of church history that says anything different than what we have in Acts 15 today?
Yeah, I have a historical record that documents the time of Acts from the Nazarene perspective, from James's own perspective.
Chris, you got to focus on the question I asked. We got to be in this conversation.
So James has writings, right? The brother of James, he has a book in the Bible.
You're not answering the questions he asking. You just keep going on these rants, bro.
I ain't going. All right, go ahead. Say it again. What is?
You said that this was added later to the book of Acts. I'm asking you, do you have any manuscript evidence that shows? Do you have anything in the manuscript tradition whatsoever in multiple countries across thousands of years?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Okay, cool. What manuscript? Name the manuscript. Feel free to Google it if you need to. But name
it's
the
called
manuscript that says of Acts that says otherwise.
So it's called the Clementine Homilies. That's one. The Clementine Homilies is from the perspective of James, Peter, and Clement. This is
something different.
First of all, that's not Acts, Chris. But second, but
it's the same history. It's the same time period coming from James, the brother of Yeshua. He wrote it.
Chris, let me ask you a question. Chris, first of all, which Clement were we talking about anyway? Clement of Alexandria, Clement of Rome, which one were we talking about?
So Clement, the one that wrote the Clementine Homilies, when you read it.
Chris, you're not telling me.
I'm trying to tell you, Clement was a disciple of. He was a disciple of James. Whichever Clement followed James the Nazarene, James the Just, at the Jerusalem Council. That's the Clement I'm talking about, and he talks about the
document. What's the date for this document?
I'm not 100% sure, my brother.
Okay, can you Google it real quick and tell us the date of this document?
You pull it. I can't Google it right now. I don't have my computer in front of me.
Okay,
I'm on my phone.
Document is?
It's called the Clementine Homilies. You can also Google the Essene Gospel of Peace, and you can listen to what Yeshua said of his own account.
3rd century, Leandre. I'm pretty sure 3rd century.
Well, but and you also don't forget the scholar I brought up, the scholar by the name of Robert Eisman. Very.
Can I address that?
Hold on. Y'all can't bring up dates when most of the completed
please mute Lucifer.
Dates are important.
I'm in the conversation, just like everyone's in the conversation.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Why would I not be in the conversation? Ain't none's in the conversation.
Because you're not in the conversation.
I'm in the conversation.
So was
date. You can't do that because you don't get a complete Bible.
Please stop talking. Please stop talking. Not adding it.
No, you don't want to hear that because you believe.
Did you get it though?
That's why you don't want me to talk because you believe in fiction. That's why.
Hey, Lucifer, can you let them finish their build?
Go ahead.
I'll stay out too. That's my fault. I'll stay out.
No. You at least chimed in with something relevant. I don't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he was talking about. we're all having a conversation. I'm trying to ask them in particular, but anyway, here's this. Okay, so
let me ask you a question, Tank.
Uh-huh.
Do you see a contention between James the Apostle, the true brother of Yeshua, and Paul?
No, none. Zero.
I think we literally see Paul acquiescing to James's authority.
Yeah,
we literally see that in Acts 21.
I don't see any conflict between them and their theology. Numerous scholars don't see any conflict between them. I think you have to be searching for one to try to find one, but their messages are essentially the same. And I think that even just like a look through 1 Corinthians 5 would match up with the bulk of what we get in James' epistle. In that there needs to be orthopraxy to go with your orthodoxy. So along with your confession of faith, that there needs to be that you need to show that such is the case by your actions. And I don't see any conflict in Paul with that whatsoever. And numerous scholars that I read don't see any conflict.
I just got one quick question, bro, and then I'm done.
Ask away. Look, y'all got 10 more minutes. Y'all got 10 more minutes, and I'm out. But what's
like, I can't even build the way I want to build to really dissect. You agree then that the Jews were still observing the law of Moses to the best of their ability, but the Gentiles were giving the Noahide laws, or are you saying
No, not necessarily. So one, I don't think. I object to a couple things. One, when you say the Jews, the earliest Christians themselves were Jews, and so I don't think that they all had the same practice. And likewise, I don't think that even the statement, the Jews doing things to the best of their abilities, that doesn't fit with the law of Moses. The law of Moses didn't ask you to do it to the best of your abilities; it asked you to do them. And so I don't think that you can do a bait and switch, which I think is a bit of a bait and switch to say that they were doing the law of Moses to the best of their ability.
What do you do with Acts 21 with Paul and James, when Paul says he's accused of teaching the Jews not to keep the law, and he says, I teach the Jews to keep the law, and then he talks about what he teaches the Gentiles. I can bring it up verbatim if you want, but
no. I'm familiar. I think that in Paul's application that there was a particular means, there was a particular explanation for how the law of Moses was to be kept in its highest sense, but that also was not relevant to someone who would have been a Jewish Christian, I would say. So. I think that the Jews had something that
when you say, I'm not trying to cut you off, I just want to understand. So when you saying Jewish Christian, are you talking about a Hellenized Jew, that never practiced Judaism, or somebody who was?
No, well, I don't know what that has to do with being Hellenized. Hellenized, that's a Greek culture adoption. When I say Jewish Christian, I mean someone who would have saw Christianity itself. They would have saw the fulfillment. They would have saw that the Messiah had come, and that the Messiah had fulfilled certain things. Now that's not. There are obvious things that are even in multiple Jewish interpretations historically where they thought there were going to be changes once the Messiah came. And so Jewish Christians would have been persons who believed that there were changes that would happen as a result of the Messiah's presence, as the Messiah's coming. And so
can I read a passage so I can understand your thoughts on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so Acts 21, I'll start at 20. And I'll go down probably to like 25, if that's maybe 24. And then you just tell me if you want me to stop, right? So verse 20. And when they heard it, they glorified the Lord and said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they are all zealous of the law. And they are informed of thee that thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, saying that they ought not to circumcise their children, neither to walk after the custom. So this is the accusation. What is it therefore? This is James now. What is it therefore? The multitude must needs come together, for they will hear that thou art come. Verse 23. Do therefore this that we say unto thee. We have 4 men which have a vow on them. 24 kind of is the main crux of it. Them take and purify thyself with them, and be at charges. So this is a Nazirite vow with them, and they may that they may shave their heads, and all may know that those things which they were informed concerning thee are nothing, but that thou self also walkest orderly and keepest the law. So, and then I'll do 25. As touching the Gentiles which believe, we have written, and this is what I was saying, right? This goes back to Acts 15. As touching the Gentiles which believe, we have written and concluded that they observe no such thing, save only that they keep themselves from things offered to idols, and from blood, and from strangle, and from fornication. So just a quick synopsis, the way I understand this is, Paul is accused of teaching the Jews not to walk after the customs. And so James is saying, go partake in this vow, so that way everybody knows that you are not teaching the Jews to do that, but as touching the Gentiles, you're teaching the Gentiles to do the things which we told the Gentiles to do.
Yeah, so several issues. One of which, let's take the latter one. These aren't the Noahide laws at all.
Cool. Whatever it is it different from the law of Moses? Whatever they're telling them.
Yeah, but there's something. There's a premise, and you have to be quiet so you can hear what I'm saying. But you're sneaking some premises in here that aren't actually in the text. So these aren't the Noahide laws that are present here. As a matter of fact, we know that the Gentile nations, likewise, they had several things that were in agreement. Like we know that taking care of your children, was one of those things. There were several things that are mentioned here, which would be like offensive to Jews, that would disrupt worship and all sorts of things that they were told to abstain from doing. The other thing is these aren't the Noahide laws. But certain things that didn't need to be told to do. In legal scholars, as well as Talmud scholars, Jewish scholars of whatever, they note that there are certain similarities between different people groups. So certain things Gentiles wouldn't need to be instructed to do, and they certainly didn't need to be instructed to do so from the law of Moses. They already had commonalities there. And so there were certain particular things that were relevant to Gentile worship, in their worship practice, that they were told to abstain from doing, but they weren't given the law of Moses. That's the Gentiles. So as a whole, Gentiles weren't given the law of Moses. Two, the thing that's stated here is talking about Gentiles who live among Jews who live among the Gentiles. That's specifically stated there in the verse. And I think it says, I pulled it up, it says, and when he heard it, the glory for God saying, you see, brother, how many thousands there are among the Jews of those who are believed. They are zealous for the law, and they have been told about you that you teach all the Jews who are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, telling them not to circumcise their children or walk according to our customs. Now, this, of course, it's certainly not stated that this is for the sake of salvation or anything like that, but whether or not Paul was telling them, like, let's say, not to do certain feast days, not to circumcise, that sort of thing. And so, one, I don't think there's any conflict here, but whether or not Paul is telling them, hey, you can't do these particular things. I don't think Paul's message was ever that you can't do these things, but that his message was that if you try to do these things for the sake of salvation, that this is an issue. I think that Paul taught the fulfillment of these particular things in Christ, and I don't think that he taught that you can't keep these things as customs.
Okay. No, that's the point. So my argument was never about salvific. I'm not one of the guys that's going to tell you keep the law for salvation, right? I would say more keep it for a lifestyle if we're talking about keeping it right. But that was my argument, because there are some that say that Paul taught even the Jews to basically walk away from the law of Moses, and I would say that Acts 21 makes it clear that he was not teaching them, no matter where we look at the nuance, right? He's not teaching them that it's okay to just walk away from the law of Moses, right?
Yeah, but the problem is that the goalpost has moved, though, because this was supposed to be about the conversation was supposed to be about something different. So the point that we were making,
my original question was about the Jews and the Gentiles in Acts 21. I ask this question all the time, consistently. So maybe I didn't word it, in the way that you would have liked it, and I'll do better with that. But my initial question is always the same in terms of are the Jews taught to walk away or put down the law of Moses?
Well, that wasn't your question, though. That's not the question you asked me.
Like I said, well, then I'm clarifying it now, and I apologize for not asking it in a better way. But that's my initial question: are the Jews taught to put down the law of Moses?
Okay, because I thought what you asked was you were talking about keeping the law of Moses to the best of their abilities, and
because when I'm saying to the best of their abilities,
say keep the law of Moses to the best of their abilities. It has nothing to do with that. Zero.
Great, cool. Get me on the wording. You got that?
No, it's not on the wording. No, it's not on the wording. The whole.
But I'm asking you now to deal with the actual question. Were the Jews taught to put down the law of Moses?
They were taught to put down the law of Moses for necessity. Yes.
They were, but what do you mean for necessity? Yes. Explain what do you mean. So when were the Jews ever taught to keep the law for salvation? When was that?
So
when was that ever even a concept?
Yeah. So
now you've introduced a straw man.
Okay. Well, I haven't introduced any straw man. whatsoever. I haven't introduced any straw man, but for example, like one of the parts of the law of Moses, and you tell me, will you tell me, was the sacrificial system, was that necessary for salvation? For a Jew living in Israel, was that necessary? The atonement?
The atonement is not salvation.
That's not what I asked you. Was the atonement necessary for
salvation?
No,
there's no conversation about salvation.
No. I want you to answer the question. Well,
I said no. And I'm explaining. Can I explain though?
So in Deuteronomy, it doesn't.
But am I allowed to explain?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So when we're talking about, and so maybe I'm wrong. When you're talking about salvation, I'm assuming you're talking about the messianic salvation that comes when Christ comes.
No, I'm talking about the salvation where it says that their sins won't be forgiven. And unless you think someone can enter the presence of God without the cleansing of their sin, what they're told in the atonement itself, part of that system, like you being able to approach God in the first place, your sacrificial cleanliness, those sorts of things necessitate that you be clean. And so the atonement was their means, which the New Testament is a greater fulfillment of that. And so the law of Moses, which presented the atonement, right, a type and shadow of what I think was to come later. That sort of thing is not necessary for salvation. You lean on Christ for that. But
that's not my argument.
No. But you asked me, and so I'm telling you that's for necessity of salvation. The atonement was necessary for salvation. It was. It just is. The scriptures are very clear that the atonement was necessary in order to cleanse your sin. If you don't cleanse your sin, you can't even enter the presence of the Most High. Period. Not in this life or the afterlife. You need your sins to be cleansed. And so I'm telling you that for necessity's sake. Okay. And so, for example, is it necessary? Is it necessary to keep feast days? You can keep the feast days if you want. We saw Paul continue to keep the feast days. Does Paul say that it's necessary to keep the feast days? Is a separate question. Can you do it? I believe you absolutely can do it. Do you have to do it? I don't believe that you have to do it. I don't believe that Paul or anyone else teach that you have to do so. I think.
But did he tell him? But my question was, did he tell him to stop? That's all I'm at. Did he tell him to stop?
No. The question you just asked me.
I literally keep asking the same question, G. Did he tell him to stop?
No, you just asked me a separate question. You just asked me
what I keep asking.
No, you just asked what I meant by necessity, and I'm now explaining it. Do you have to do it? Okay, now watch this. Now, so if I say, hey, you should, put rims on your car.
I'm very familiar with my car. So yeah, I get what you're saying, fam. Me and you.
You're not letting me finish.
Because I don't want you to go down the same redundant rabbit hole. I'm with you. Because I'm saying there's a certain point where we're agreeing right now.
Bro, I'm trying to finish what I'm saying, though. You got to finish the point. You may know. I'm trying to say it for y'all. Please let me finish. So here's the thing. I do not think that it would make any logical sense for Paul to say that Gentiles can be saved as Gentiles without any of the custom things like that. They can have their customs, but that the Jews can't have their customs. And I think that's a straw man. I don't think anyone has ever taken that position that everyone can have their customs, their practice. They can dress the way that they dress, have their holidays and all that kind of stuff like that, except the Jews. I don't think that's the argument. The argument is whether or not you have to do so. And what Paul consistently takes aim at is the necessity of these issues. So my whole point here is that Paul didn't teach any of these things as a necessity. So do I have to, as whether Jew or Gentile, do I have to do these things? No. Is Paul teaching that you cannot do these things? I don't think that Paul is saying you cannot do these things. I think what Paul is saying is that you don't do these things for necessity's sake. You don't have to. That's the point.
Can I respond?
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. So then we agree that he's not telling them to stop doing them completely. From your perspective, then he's just saying he's telling them you don't have to do them, but if you want to do them, you can. That's your argument.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I don't want to hold up more time. I'll figure out how to get in touch with you. We'll set a debate, something around that conversation. That works?
Okay, cool. And I just want to say that again, this is still off topic from the original question that I was asked. I don't know how it got here.
I would disagree, but it's fine.
Okay, so again, the original.
I mean, that was the purpose of going to Acts 21.
Well, it may be your purpose, but it wasn't what you asked. So, what was the original question you asked me?
I can't even remember at this point, just to be honest.
Okay, so I don't know why.
Well, the reason I would say, like I said, I would disagree about, and I even said this. If we're disagreeing, if we're arguing about how I worded it, then I clearly said, okay, you got that. My bad. I'm wrong, right? So I don't think it's fair to continue to harp on that when I'm saying now, here is the point of contention that I'm asking. Right? I'm literally asking, did he tell him to stop?
So
because I'm trying to understand. Can I finish? You told me to let you finish because I'm clearly trying to understand your thought process on it, right? So that way, if we do have contention, if we do argue about it, I want to know your entire thought about it.
You done, or you got more?
You got it, bro.
Okay.
Right, more back to this, bro.
So the question originally was this. Again, it was a completely another separate question, but the question was about whether or not the scriptures, and this verse was supposed to be talking about keeping the law of Moses to the best of your ability. I don't think the law of Moses ever taught to keep it to the best of your ability. The law of Moses taught that it needed to be kept. So anyone teaching that the law of Moses was to be kept to the best of your ability is, I think, in violation of what Christ says in Matthew chapter 5. You don't come in and teach that you teach the law of Moses to the best of your ability. You come in and keep the law of Moses, and you keep it, and it needs to be kept perfectly. I don't know that God has a standard less than perfection. And I think anyone teaching otherwise needs to worry about meeting God on that day. The scriptures nowhere teach keep it to the best of your ability. If the scripture says to do whatever you're going to do, it wants you to do exactly that. It doesn't tell you to do so to the best of your ability. That was the point of contention originally. This verse was supposed to have been read. And please feel free. Let me be a liar. Skip back. We can travel back in time and just skip back to the video. This verse was supposed to be read in reference to keeping the law of Moses to the best of your ability. That's nowhere teaching to keep it to the best of your ability. Nowhere. It's to keep it. Keep the law of Moses. If you're going to keep the law of Moses, and here's the thing. I don't know anyone today at all. And at this point in time, they at least still had the temple. But no one today can even practice so much as a feast day, even remotely akin to what was commanded in the law of Moses. You can't. It's not possible. It's not possible. The scripture does not tell you that you can make the sort of inundations and changes that people have. And there's all sorts of different iterations and changes that people have made. The scripture doesn't give you any way or means to do this. The scripture doesn't give you any warrant to do that. Anyone making up a different way of practicing and keeping, let's say, even the feast days, that command.
Can I respond to that?
You got to stop interrupting, brother. I'm still in the middle of speaking. Okay. And so here's the deal. The scripture doesn't tell you to make sort of change. Scripture doesn't tell you to set up things in the way that you have. People have done so. And historically, different people and different black Jews, capital B, capital J, and different lowercase b, lowercase j, people have had all sorts of different ways of applying that. Hebrew Israelites have come in and they've adopted the European Jewish way of doing so by and large. Historically speaking, the scholars are clear on this sort of thing, where the practices and where these things came from. But yeah, the point is that those sorts of things, those are changes, inundations that follow rabbinic Judaism that were different from the way that people practiced them before. And so these are changes that people are making. So you're not keeping the law of Moses. You have a completely different law. You have remnants of the law of Moses that you have now adopted and changed and found out ways that you're going to try to keep them. But in doing so, you're not keeping the law of Moses. The law of Moses tells you to keep this a specific way. That is now impossible to do so, especially with the destruction of the temple.
Okay, great. So, like I said, you got me on to the best of their abilities, and that's why I told you I got to the crux of the question. I would do my final pushback. They're clearly giving away that they can keep the Passover in the book of Exodus before they set up their rabbinical system. In Exodus 12, they keep the Passover. Do I need to read it?
Once? No, they kept the Passover once because it's not the institution of the Passover. The institution of the Passover came via the law of Moses.
Here's the point.
The institution of the Moses is not the way that it was celebrated then. It's not.
Got you. What you said though, since we're being a stickler for words, you said there is no way to keep any of the feast days.
It's not
ever.
It's not.
Okay, but there is clearly a way that they kept the Passover before they set up their actual Kohanim system. They clearly keep the Passover.
Kohanim is different. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, when you talk about even before we get to the rabbis or anything, you said there was no way for us to.
Judaism is post first century.
Okay, now my argument. You don't know
what you're talking about. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
You're right, Lucifer. You're right. So we can literally separate rabbinic Judaism from this conversation right now.
Yes,
right? So here's the point. And nobody's leaning towards rabbinic Judaism at this point. I don't even know why that's a part of the conversation.
Hebrew Israelite practitioners copy.
No, some do. Some do, right?
Okay.
Yeah, some do. So here's the argument, right?
Go ahead.
So right, that is completely different on topic. So but the point is this: we at least clearly see one Passover being kept, right? Before they have their Kohanim system set up. Do we agree with that?
Not prescriptive though. That's what I'm saying. There is no the prescription came from the law of Moses was not the one in Acts in not the one in Exodus 12.
Is there a way? Is there a way?
No.
Is there a way that they can keep the Passover?
No,
Right?
because what you're talking about in Exodus 12.
I just want the world record. You got it, bro.
Because in Exodus 12,
You got it, bro. You got it, bro.
Listen.
Ain't nobody keep a feast day.
No, listen. Here's the problem with your interpretation. In Exodus 12, it is a description of what happened. It is not a prescription of what to do. And this is the main problem. So you can't go, you cannot just take something that says, how you can't say that this is what they did over here and say that this is what's prescribed, because that was prescribed for these people to do at that time. What was given in the law of Moses to follow afterward had specific rights that you had to do. And so none of you people who are trying to keep the feast days, none of you are doing it the way that is prescribed in the law of Moses. And there's a difference between what is described in Exodus 12 to what's prescribed later on. There's a difference there. And so none of you are doing what's prescribed in the law of Moses. You all are doing wrong things with interpreting a text. It doesn't work that way. You can't just pick up something. I can't take anything that was described as a conquest, something that was described as a conquest narrative, right? And say that this is what I'm told to do. It's not even that sort of literature. It's not written for me to follow in such a fashion. So you can't do that. You're handling the text improperly. So no, you can't go to Exodus 12. You can't, because that's not what prescribed for the children of Israel. It wasn't. It's not what prescribed for them. They didn't.
Can I read the scripture just to see so I can understand what you said?
No.
So now I can't read it. Now I can't read scripture. I can't read it.
You just said it was your last pushback.
Just shut the hell up, man. Just shut the hell up, man.
Hey, you just said it was your last pushback a second
He just
ago.
need to preach to you like a fucking preacher.
Hey, Darian, can you remove Lucifer from the panel, please?
Yeah.
Darian, remove Lucifer from the panel, please. He's out of nothing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Antisocial.
No. You can put the other brother back. Take Lucifer off. You put a non back. Take Lucifer off. He's
Damn, what I do, bro? Why you gotta kick me off?
Put
No,
the,
no, I
the
think that's
antisocial God complex atheist over here down in the panel.
That's fine. Thank you. Anyway, but anyway, you said it was your last pushback. Said it was your last pushback. We're not going to sit and go on and on endlessly throughout the night. If you want to set some up, we can. But it's
we'll set it up, bro. Yeah, y'all have a good night. Yeah, we'll set it. I just wanted to see where you.
I want to see that. I want to see that.
Yeah,
that's
we'll
gonna be good.
No, you don't. You don't want to see it because I just pointed out something that's basic.
Yeah.
You're talking about basic and interpretation. You can't do it.
Yeah, we'll have fun though.
kind of
All right,
agree
man.
with-
Hey, y'all have a great evening, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead and rock out. Hey, stop telling people to shut up, DeAndre. Yeah,
Nah, listen, you know I'm gonna continue. You say you're telling me. You know I'm gonna continue doing that. You know that.
Stop telling people to shut up, man. What's wrong
I can't.
with you?
You know I can't. You from where I'm from. You know I can't.
All right, man. Y'all be easy, bro.
Yeah, I'm on. So yeah, very interesting, and you have great points. I agree with you 100% when it comes to Paul teaching that not necessarily teaching that Israelites should not do it, but that it was not necessary. And this is one of the focuses with Christ. Christ focused on the commandments, and oftentimes a lot of our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters always think that the laws of Moses are the commandments. The commandments are the laws of God. And that's basic. He only gave you 10. You know what I'm saying? And in that, Christ minimized it down to 2. Love God as you love yourself and love your fellow man, right? So if you do those things, you're going to complete the 10 commandments. But when it comes to the laws of Moses, understand this. When you go back even to the Noahic laws, you go back to the Abrahamic laws changed as time went on. Even God made intercession for certain things that had to change. And so, you know, Moses is like, for instance, when Christ said something about, and you could probably back me up on this, Leandre, when Christ spoke about divorce, you know what I'm saying? Bless up, young man. Yes, I. Blessed love. The rude boys in the building. Yeah, man. Yes, I. Yes, I. You them. Blessed love, young Rasta man. So yeah, so Christ even spoke about what was I going to say? I said Christ even spoke about the commandments, the differentiation from the commandments and the laws, and he pointed out with a divorce that God had no such law, but that Moses had to come up with that to make intercession for where Israel could not keep the commandments. Am I correct?
I believe you're correct. I believe you're correct. Where in which case, in Christ appeals back to nature in the beginning and God's intention, which is seen through His intentional creation. And so I think I think you have a good fair point there.
Right, and that's the same thing with polygamy. Polygamy was not a law, and we have a lot of Hebrew Israelites who are trying to act as if polygamy is a law. However, polygamy was something that had happened because people's husbands died, and all kinds of other reasons for those things that were not God's laws necessarily, but Moses kind of made room for those things. And that's not necessarily God's laws, that's Mosaic law. So, I agree with you.
Yes, sir. Brother Courtney Thompson, what's up, man? We can't keep daring up too long. What's up, Courtney?
Peace.
Courtney, where are these extant manuscripts of Acts that say something different than what we get in chapter like 9 and 10? Where are these manuscripts? Do you know?
That's a really interesting question. There's no the variations we have in like Codex Bezae, Codex D, they're more like ancillary details and explanatory notes. They're not really.
So we don't have something that says we don't have something that says different than what we get like with James giving a declaration at the council. We don't have anything like that. Like there's no manuscripts of that say something different, and then like later on we see like the Romans or nothing.
No, not at all. And I was going to say earlier that there's lacuna in all of these manuscripts of these secondary documents, gospels, apocalypses. There's gaps. They're not complete manuscripts. A lot of people.
Thank you, Courtney.
Yeah.
Now, hang on. Now, with the homilies of Clementine. Now, I've never heard of these. What's the date for those, Courtney?
3rd century.
Okay, that's a
I'm
problem.
not sure off the top of my head, but if there's third century,
How is that a problem if you don't have a complete book of Acts during that date? How you gonna have an issue with dates and chronology?
Darian, why is Lucifer back up here? He's coming off his mic.
No, because you need to answer that question.
well, that's an easy question to answer.
Courtney, go ahead.
Answer it for me, Courtney.
Yeah, when you have an abundance of non-controlled manuscripts of the same document, widely attested,
all over, right, Courtney?
You have access to most probably the original wording, because now you're able to catalog the variations and historically speaking, in order to access the earliest.
What's the earliest date you have for Acts fragments? What's the earliest date do you have?
Courtney, what's a manuscript tradition?
Hold on real quick. I want him to answer this question.
I'm asking him a similar question. What's a manuscript tradition?
Yeah, a manuscript tradition is a collection of documents attesting to a singular body of work. So we have a manuscript tradition of the Declaration of Independence, where there's textual variations because they didn't have access to Xerox copies.
Courtney, brother, what is the earliest manuscript that you have for the Book of Acts?
I think mid-second to early 3rd century.
Okay, then that was my point.
Wait. No. Courtney, what's the difference between what he just said right here, right, of the earliest copy? Because Courtney and I want everybody with a brain. If everybody with a brain, I want you to hear this.
Which you do not have.
Courtney just okay. You it just came out of your mouth.
You don't have a brain, bro. You're a doctrinaire. You're just up here trying to indoctrinate people.
Okay.
That's all you're doing. That's what a lot of you religious
This is why the highest that you've ever ascended in school.
You're right. High school You can keep saying it over and over again with high school, but guess what? I'm not a doctrinaire like you.
Objection argumentative.
You believe that this man was visited by a man that died, right? And you're calling that history? That's fiction. That is fiction.
Well, Josephus says that this is a common belief. So Josephus,
I don't need to go to college to understand a man that dies and resurrects and comes back, and then he's born without a fucking father. That's fiction, man.
Josephus says
Darren, can you mute him now?
Wait, Joshua, you don't got no degree? I thought you had a degree.
This shit be
I thought Joshua had a degree.
Darren, why do you keep letting him back up here, man? What's going on?
This nigga up out of here, Darren.
Please, Darren, what's going on? This nigga is like legit. Thank you, appreciate it. Anyway, Courtney, do we not can we not see like families of where like if I said, let's say I find this manuscript over here in Syria, right, and I find this one over here in I don't know, Iraq, and I find another one over in I don't know, Jerusalem, right? And if I'm looking at like different wording and things like that, and I see that the wording matches up, and let's say this is from the 3rd century, this is from the 2nd century, this is from the 4th century, what do those tell me? Especially if they pop in different locations. What is that? What are the coincidences of like exact wording and things? What does that tell me about what took place prior to?
It tells most scholars that there is actually quite stable of a textual transmission tradition behind the earliest attestation of any of these copies.
Yeah.
In other words, the copies actually express, contrary to common understanding, and I can share with you the academic resource for this from Oxford. They indicate that the majority of the earliest New Testament manuscripts actually attest to very strong and fixed copying traditions for their own publication. Though they probably were not initially compiled by formal trained copyists, they do demonstrate a consistent and fixed literary tradition being duplicated.
Now, Courtney, let me ask you a question. So, like, and so if we see the sort of similarities, right? And if we could see, let's say we look at a bunch of manuscripts, and their wording in this particular issue, like it's exactly the same, right? Or if they all contain the same variant, right? Does that not tell me that there was an exemplar or something like that I could know and I could trace the time period, right? I could say, well, if this is 3rd century, that and all of these have these, this over here, can I not start to say that I know that there was a copy that came from that would have had to come logically prior to the copy that I'm looking at?
Like there's hints, and like here's a good textual example. The woman caught in adultery. That's a great textual example of exactly what you're talking about. Because it doesn't appear in the Gospel of John until after Family 13, which is a collection of manuscripts, but Family 13 is actually a copy of Luke, not a copy of the Gospel of John. So its earliest attestation in any New Testament text is in the Gospel of Luke, not in the Gospel of John. And so we have aspects, because we can go before that and after that in the Johannine corpus, because this is one of the most frequently copied and well survived manuscripts of the first textual traditions from the 1st century, if not the most documented, copied, and well surviving textual tradition from the 1st century. It demonstrates contrary aspects when it comes to the initial insertion into the Gospel of John. So we can sort of document, it gets fixed in the Gospel of John here, and then soon after, all the other John Gospels seem to have duplicated that previous manuscript.
Yes. So we can like use that, like we can date. So if something pops up, let's say we get a copy of something. Let's say it's in the 2nd or 3rd century. That doesn't mean that that's when the story originally came about, does it?
Not at all.
Okay.
If that's the case, we have to throw away all of ancient history.
And according another relevant question, right? And so what if I find, let's say I don't have an earlier manuscript, right? But what if I have church fathers who are quoting from a particular document or text? Does that mean that it would have had to come prior to the church father quoting from it?
Yes, the textual tradition. See, so for example, in early 2nd century, there's a Syrian convert to Christianity named Aristides, I believe that's what he pronounced it. And he's writing, and he's writing in 125 to Hadrian an apology or a defense for the Christian community, and while he's also explaining his peers and other cultures that are around, why are they getting picked on by the Roman government, and things of this sort. So he's explaining things, and when he gets down to the Jesus portion, you know, he was a son of a Hebrew, born of a woman. So God entered a woman's womb, and she gave birth to Jesus. All of this stuff is mentioned there, and then he gives an allusion to literary sources. He says, if you want to find out about what I'm talking about, you can go read therein the Gospels that exhibit power within them. He says things of this nature about his primary source, his summary of their traditions is derived.
Now,
so it's just funny.
Now, Courtney, so that means, so unlike what we're talking about, if a source doesn't come about, it's not written until 3rd or 4th century, right? That's different from us having a copy of something from the 2nd or 3rd century. Isn't that different? Because one of them is a copy, the other one, it doesn't come about. So the original autograph not coming about until 3rd or 4th century is different from us having a copy from the 2nd or 3rd century, right?
Correct, and correct. And a lot of people have to understand the nature of literary production in the Greco-Roman culture, because when you talk about sending a letter to Fred from Rome to Tarsus, hypothetically, you know, you're actually going to produce more than one document. There's going to be multiple autographs in the initial publication. So, and what are they? They're basically copies of each other.
Right.
Yeah. Now, okay, good. Thank you, Courtney, because this is a good point of clarification. It's very technical. It's really not. It's really practical, but for stupid people, it might seem really technical. But there's a difference between like having a copy of something and showing that it existed prior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus something not come about until now. B-Wash. Now, we gotta let Cannon get to sleep here. But B-Wash, man, what you got, man?
Oh man, nothing else, bro. Just listening. I was gonna try to chime in, but yeah, it got real stupid early, so I was just like, nah.
Yeah, it got real dumb for a while.
It got really stupid. Like, oof.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but
Dre, the Christian tradition isn't Christianity isn't defined by the Bible.
You talking about something like really ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know, like, where else would we go? Like, hey, Byron, let me ask you a question. If I wanted to go find out what Jesus' teachings were, where would I go?
Nowhere than the Bible itself. That's what everybody points to.
So like stuff like that, it just didn't make any sense. Like, it's not for the Bible. No. Like that's from that's going to be the source of Christian teaching. I don't know where else I would go to look for it, but again, just sheer ridiculousness. But Cannon, I got something I just want to play, man, for my closing out, man. When it's time, so you let me know when it's Cannon. You say whatever you need to say, man, and then I just got something I want to play for when it's time to close out.
All right, just let me know when you're ready to close out. Did you want to wrap it up, or?
Yeah, I just want to say again. So, it's some debates we can line up. The brother who's the high school dropout guy, I don't know. He's saying really make me think I'm going to waste my time with him. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Candy, you got to talk me into it because I'm trying to figure this out.
I was trying to keep up with DMG. They said he was supposed to be the guy they wanted you to see.
That's unfortunate.
And then Anar, he had some. He was making some decent questions, and y'all was having a little bit of a dialogue. Ultimately, we'll see.
Now listen. Now he definitely had he definitely was let me say 9-10 times better than lots of the people stuff who were up here. But again, like I said, I keep pointing out the fact that what he asked me and what the verse is supposed to be showing, we ended up way somewhere else. And so, like you talk, that's the definition of moving the goalposts. Because again, I don't know how we ended up way over there. My particular point, and then once that was answered, he moved to something else. Kept saying we're talking about something else. No, we weren't. The point of that whole discussion was you're supposed to be showing me that it says to keep the law to the best of your abilities. My whole argument is that that's exactly not the case. We're not told to keep the law to the best of our abilities. That's not the claim. That's not the claim. And if you're teaching it, especially for necessity's sake, it's not to keep it to the best of your abilities. That's the Most High does not have a standard that says you can do what you want. Like I'm okay with it. Like if you can't, like that's not a standard. He requires perfection. He requires for this to be done properly and correctly. Holiness is the requirement, and if you don't meet the requirement, you can't get in. Now, how are you going to get there? That's the question.
Going to hell.
But holiness is the requirement, and so anyone teaching something other than that, I think you got to read what Jesus says. If you teach relaxing even one of these commandments, if you teach the relaxation of even one of these commandments, okay, you have a problem. You got a problem with the Messiah. So I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's the standard. So if you come teaching, he says just do your best. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's what he teaches. So anyway, but hopefully DMG he can line up some of them. Tell Haru come out of hiding. Tell Chris Harris. I don't know what happened. He was on here saying he wanted all the smoke. I don't know what happened. He picked one of the dumbest subjects to try to debate. But yeah, that's fine. Just let's line some up. Let's line some up, Candace.
That's a bet. You want to play what you was looking to play?
Yep.
Oh, Dre, for you, can I say one thing?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
There's a particular guy out there that wanted to smoke with three people on this panel. I just want that guy to know if they ever see this video, I don't think you really want this.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Hey, B-Wash, did you ever get the 150-something slide response?
Man, listen,
it's been what's it going on? 2 years now? How long has it been? What's going on?
Oh man, I see the riding. I guess the rider in clouds can come before they have it.
Sheesh.
Hey, listen, man. It's gonna be saying, "Behold, the white horse and the pale horse, and the whole 9 yards before it take place." But let me see. Let me serenade y'all with this real quick. I want to Darren, whenever you're ready. Hang on, wait.
Did he say the day of the Geechee are gone?
That's what he said.
The Geechee?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's heavy. I'm out here in South Carolina. I'm surrounded by Geechee all the time.
South Carolina. What the hell going on, man? Get back.
Oh yeah, I mean, I want to come back to Cali, but I gotta wait.
So here's my main point, man. Just as a people, man, we got to raise the bar, demand more of the people. You can't just be allowing people to get up here to say anything to you no more. Like we got to demand more and stop allowing anybody to speak to you to say anything. We got to challenge that, press that, like fight back, push back. Like we got to ask questions. Like as a community, we got to bring this up. And as Chris would probably tell you, I'm a nigga, man. Like I am. So I feel like we got to bring this up. So no more of that stuff. And so I'm coming for the head. Like that's what we doing. So we're gonna raise the bar around here.
Yeah. On that note, look, we put 3 hours of power in. Shout out to everybody that supported, everybody who wanted to support. B. Wash, Courtney Thompson, Prince Cosmon. I had dropped on. Hebrew Jedi was on. Always a pleasure. Sister Michelle, Quinn, everybody in the back chat. Shout outs to them. DMG, you the boss, and we out.
The following music is performed by the Musical Messiah, aka the most dangerous Bible believer. Please be advised by how hard it hits.
You don't want to have to do it, 'cause if you do it, you're going to have to prove it. You gon' lose it. Nigga living life in my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the true is yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet. Pack up all who speak bad on O&E. You don't wanna have to do it, 'cause if you do it, you gon' have to prove it. You gon' lose it. Nigga living life in my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the true is yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet. Pack up all who speak bad on O&E. You might know that Neo love, but Neo love O&E above. Switching lanes in the turning lane. Old school, no roof.